Game 5, Heat Celtics in Boston. You can hear the game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 7.
Mike Jimenez.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Tim Spence.
Victory! Cowboys win!
It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on the go at ESPNSA.com. We're streaming live on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Mike Jimenez, and Tim Spence is back, baby. Wait, where'd he go? Where'd he go? I swear he was going to be my co-host today.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Pledge? How you doing?
You are lucky that I am who I am and basically a vacuum cleaner of a eater.
Yeah. Okay. Lucky you. I have not had one bite of lunch yet.
Yeah, I'm done.
So just let you guys know what's going on over here. The show starts at 11:59:30, right? Because we have to do the headlines. And at 11:57, I was still in my car with lunch for pleasure, running inside the station going, my show starts in 3 minutes. It starts in 3 minutes. And then it's like, Spence isn't going to be here? Okay. All right. I guess he's not going to be here. And we're off and running, baby. We're off and running. You inhale that sandwich.
It's delicious.
In 3 minutes. I've yet to have one bite of my lunch.
It was so good. Thank you.
You had pastrami.
Yes. I went to you went to Zito's.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the large bread.
Yeah.
So I was about to get a serious, and I'll be like, I can snack on that all day.
Zito's is amazing. But it was funny because I got in line and you had told me yesterday, get there at 11, because if you get there at 11:10, you are screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened. And then they tell me we don't have any large white bread. And I'm like, that's weird. It's 11 o'clock. And then
busy.
I placed my order and they're like, the bread just arrived. And I'm thinking to myself, a deli that is out of bread. That's like a McDonald's that's without fries, you know? And they're like, well, we have wheat. But they're like, the bread is in. And I get in my car. I'm telling you, can you get me a Coke Zero from the machine? Because I'm coming in hot.
Is there a Coke Zero sitting at your mic stand when you walked in?
There is. And I might have ran a red light or two, potentially. No, I ran some yellows on the way over here to be here on time.
I get it.
I walk in the room and you're like, I guess I'm not starting the show solo, but Jason Derulo style. I'm riding solo.
I would have been for a little bit anyway. Luckily, I had Easy E here. Edwin Hafner producing.
Today's show. Hey, we're on Twitter again. I'm at Mike ESPN SA. Pledger's at I Am Pledger. We're on YouTube streaming live right now. Dude, every time I check out our YouTube subscriptions, the number increases every single time I go on there, which is fantastic. A lot of people watch us do this show as opposed to listen to us. Don't get me wrong. You can be driving around and listening to this show. You can also listen to the show on ESPNSA.com. But a lot of people have been turning to us when it comes to the YouTube stream. And that's so much fun because we get a lot of comments out there, a lot of regulars. We're kind of like a bar, a neighborhood bar. A lot of regulars show up every day, and we love them. We see you, The Drew Show. Every day you're there. We love you. But you can also be part of the show by calling in to the Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone line, 656 ESPN.
I have a question because I was producing the Blitz yesterday. Did you go to Golf Club of Texas?
Dude, I wanted to go, and I was on my way. Yeah, so the Tin Cup Bar at the Golf Club of Texas celebrated its 1 year anniversary, 1 year birthday yesterday. And I know Rudy J was there, Rob Thompson, Jason and Joe were doing the show. I was literally on my way, turning on to 211, when I got a phone call from a security company that had installed cameras in my house saying, we're on your way to your home. Now, you know, whenever you block out the time, they said that they would be there between 6 and 8. They called,
so like cable companies?
Yes, exactly.
Is 6 and 8 really like between 3 and 12?
It's whenever they can get there, right? So they called me up and they were like, hey, we're free to go right now. We're actually on our way. We'll be there at 4 o'clock. So I was like, dang it. So I went straight home And they showed up, they fixed my issue, and then my wife shows up and she wants to watch TV, wants to make dinner. And at that point, I realized I was not going to Golf Club of Texas after all. But I understand that it was a fun day that I missed out on a lot. But no, I love Golf Club of Texas. I need to go back. We need to go back pretty soon. It's gonna get hot to play golf,
Nah, we're good.
dude. It's been
Rob's been talking about Sunday.
not gonna be in town. In fact, I won't be doing
Why-
the show
why not?
tomorrow. I am driving my daughter Gabby from here to Virginia Beach.
Gabby, which one's that?
Gabby is my eldest daughter.
Okay.
She's 19,
Mhm.
only 9 hours away from graduating with a bachelor's degree.
Where from?
This public school in Louisiana in Baton Rouge,
Oh.
Louisiana State University, or as they
Ah.
call them, LSU. Go Tigers. Yeah, she has an internship in Virginia Beach and Norfolk. So she'll be out there working for a newspaper and doing their digital media, doing some reporting out there. Then she comes back to Baton Rouge, has 3 more classes, and she is done. She walks the stage December 15th. That's right, baby. By then, she'll be 20 years old. By then, she'll be 20. So I've already mapped it out. I could have gone the I-10 route, which would have taken me through Houston to Baton Rouge to New Orleans to Biloxi and so on and so forth. But she does that drive all the time. It's a little bit longer, about an hour and a half longer to go towards Dallas and make my way to Little Rock, Memphis, and Nashville. But at least that's an area we haven't seen or she's never seen before. I haven't been to Tennessee in forever, and I've been wanting to go back. So we're probably, as of right now, if everything goes well, we go to Little Rock and we spend the night in Little Rock. We'll probably stop in Memphis in the morning and go to Graceland, go check that out. Go to Nashville, get some lunch somewhere over there. Maybe I'll reach out to Jill Jelnick from the Fox station over there and ask her where should we have lunch over there. And then eventually we'll make our way over, and I fly back on Sunday.
Do you like breaking news?
I love breaking news.
Well, I think this constitutes as breaking news. We heard from Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, who was at OTA'S today as the Cowboys start, on-field work for their organized team activities.
Mm-hmm.
Coach McCarthy, who we'll hear from a little bit later in the show, has been on the podium, and he recently stated that Pollard has been able to participate in OTAs.
Nice.
If you'll remember, just a few short months ago, back in the month of January, when the Cowboys were playing their divisional round game against the San Francisco 49ers, Pollard had fractured his fibula in that game and also suffered a high ankle sprain.
Part of all this involving the Dallas Cowboys and what they're going to be doing this year all hinges on what he's going to do from the backfield, because without Pollard, and they've got Deuce Vaughn, they got Rojo, they've got Malik Davis, they don't really have much behind Tony Pollard. That's why all the news about Dalvin Cook potentially being available becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he stays healthy. That is amazing. Obviously, we'll be talking more about the Dallas Cowboys.
That just seems extremely expedient for him to be returning to kind of on-field work.
Well, I mean, come on. It's been 5 months. He had a high ankle sprain, and he had
4.
Let's see. Let me count. February, March, April. You're right. Well, 4.5. We'll split the difference.
Well,
We'll split the difference.
I think the divisional round was around this time.
Yeah,
maybe a week prior.
It's the 25th. Dude, you split hairs
So
so
bad
much when it comes to me. And we'll talk more about the Cowboys around 12:45. I think we have more breaking news if you want to do this. Article posted just 10 minutes ago on SI.com. The NBA is considering making flops a technical foul per several reports. Who should they name this foul after?
It should get a trial run at the NBA Summer League this year, according to Shams Charania. Who should this be named after?
Yeah.
Is it not the Ginobili?
I would have thought it was LeBron, although I do like where you're going with that. It's more the Harden. Now, the Harden is the hook. And
yeah, he hooks.
He hooks. Now, I'm not going to say that Monty Ginobili never flopped, okay?
But he kind of brought it to the league, didn't he?
He is not the Jerry West logo of flops, though. He's not, because when people think of flops, that's not the first one that comes to mind. I think LeBron James.
Well, you think LeBron James just because he's the bigger name and he's the only one still
He's
playing.
also the bigger player who's 6'9", 270, and he acts as though he got shot. You know, he got barreled over into the front row.
But Manu brought the idea of selling that foul. He has that Euro mentality, that soccer mentality.
That's the Euro flop, not the American flop, okay? The American flop is more egregious, okay?
Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, we took what they did and we just went overboard. That's what Americans do. We go overboard on things. That's our right as Americans, is to sell to the highest degree.
Making this a technical foul, is this something that eventually becomes like the NFL when they say, we're going to take this to New York and have them review it there? Or are the officials on site going to be the ones making the call? Lots to get into when it comes to this. Next segment, we're talking about Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Miami Heat might be in trouble. We'll be talking a lot about that series, and at 12:30, LeBron James, speaking of Mr. Flop, LeBron James, did he sell us a bill of goods? Was this all a smokescreen, this whole talk about retirement? Whether or not he's just going to call it up and just hang up the high tops, was that all just a smokescreen to avoid an embarrassment? We're talking Cowboys at 12:45, as you mentioned, Tony Pollard. What's going on with the kickers? What's going on with Dak Prescott? Because we have sound from Patrick Mahomes that I found to be very, very interesting.
You and me both.
We also have a giveaway.
Yes, we do.
A family 4-pack of tickets to go check out the San Antonio Gunslingers this Sunday at the Freeman Coliseum. They're taking on the Jacksonville Sharks. The first 500 fans through the door receive a free Gunslingers patriotic hat. Again, a family 4-pack of tickets given away between now and 1 o'clock. Again, if you want to be part of the show, Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone line, 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Up next, talking about Miami Heat, Boston Celtics tonight on San Antonio Sports Star. You know, the Heat were already without Tyler Herro. They've been winning without him. But now they've lost another starter, Jimenez and Spence. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, I get to argue with RJ Ochoa, blogging the boys at 7:30.
It's a Friday edition, a weekday edition. What are you going to be grilling? We're talking hoops, we're talking football, we're talking holiday. The party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice-cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation. With those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around, you know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub, next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's time to play Stump the Experts, where today we'll try to stump Derek and Carlos, personal injury lawyers at Hilly and Solis, otherwise known as the Rexperts.
Hi, Harry. Fire away.
Carlos, how long after an accident do you have to file a personal injury lawsuit?
Well, Harry, there's a 2-year statute of limitations on filing.
Correcto, Rexpert man. Now, Derek, if a company goes bankrupt, can you still win and collect a big settlement?
You definitely can if the company had insurance.
Hey guys, one more question. How do you like my new baby blue suit with matching shoes and belt?
Honestly, that should be illegal.
Hurt in a wreck? You need to call the Rexperts at Hilly and Solis Law. Millions in settlements and no BS. The Rexperts are former prosecutors who are comfortable in the courtroom, and the Rexperts don't get paid unless your settlement is secured. See if your crash could turn into cash with the Rexperts, your accident injury lawsuit experts.
Experts are the way to go. Call 446-5000.
Call 1-877-RECT.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? It's time to address those issues you've been ignoring. Tired? Not feeling like your old self? Lacking drive? Revive Men's Health can improve your quality of life for common issues like low testosterone or ED. Why live with it when you can improve it? And Men's Health Month is the perfect time to take charge of your health. To learn about the real-world benefits of testosterone or ED treatment, book your free exam and T-level check today at Revive San Antonio. And for Men's Health Month, ask how you can get a free 30-day supply of custom ED medication if you're medically qualified. They make it easy, convenient, and they have a 99% patient satisfaction rate. So save $199 with a free exam. And don't forget to ask how you can get a free 30-day supply of custom ED medication. Don't wait. Do it today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Grand slam, bomb, went yard, long ball, dinger. Do you even know what I'm talking about, Nigel?
Croquet.
Nigel, I'm talking about baseball. Courtroom plumbing and air conditioning is a lot like a baseball team.
Should we wear cups, Joe?
When a person has plumbing problems or their air conditioner just isn't cooling right, they can rely on our team to make the big plays. We hit it out of the park every time. Call Quarter Moon Plumbing and Air Conditioning, day or night, 651-5899.
Joe, should I start singing now? Take me out.
License number N16004, TACLA 000743458.
Hey, it's Joe Reinagle, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Boston Celtics hope to be victorious tonight, because if not, they're going fishing. Game 5 tonight.
What if they
Eastern
don't like
Conference
fishing?
Finals. They're going golfing.
Okay.
They're going to the movies.
See, I always hated the fishing term because fishing seems so niche. You know?
Is it really? You guys gave me crap when I was in Florida asking if I actually like fishing. I do enjoy fishing. The problem is no one wants to go.
I asked because I don't like Tim loves it, apparently. Tim's a huge fisherman, apparently. I don't have the patience for it.
Okay, the best boat to have is when your friend has a boat, okay? Owning your own boat has got to be awful because of the cost and the maintenance and the gas and all of that, right? But going fishing, I love doing it, man. I haven't done it in forever. I have a lot of friends who would like to go golfing. A lot of friends who like to go hunting.
I like to golf.
A lot of friends like going to the gun range.
I enjoy that.
And I enjoy going to the gun range from time to time myself too. But the thing is that when it comes to fishing, very few people reach out to me and go, hey, you want to go to the lake?
You want to go drop a line?
Yeah, you want to go do that? So it's been so long, man, since I've done it, but I wouldn't mind doing it. But
see, I think lake, I just think everything, fishing's the last thing I think of when I think of the lake or the river.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
thinking
floating,
about floating,
I think boating,
drinking.
I think drinking. There's so many things that I would much rather do on a body of water that doesn't involve sitting and waiting for a fish to bite at a line.
I think drinking at all times. Dude, we've got a lot of rain this year.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I've got a float weekend coming up starting tomorrow.
Ooh, we've gone on a tangent. We're going off the rails. We've
Don't
got the
do that.
Kielbasa Smoke Beats phone line 656 ESPN 656 3776. Joey on line 1. What's going on, Joey?
Hey. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. What's going on, man?
Hey, did you hear we got Wembayama?
Yep, we got Wemby.
Yeah, we got Wemby, man. It's been over a week. I showed my wife the video of
the Rupub
reaction, and I don't think she had seen it before because we don't follow each other on social media. It's a weird thing between me and my wife. We just don't do that. She has her life, I have my life, but we get together at night, right? And in the mornings.
That is the weirdest thing in my how do y'all not follow each other on social media?
I think we follow each other on Instagram, but we don't on Facebook or Twitter.
Like this,
we're going off the rails today.
I know, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around like y'all are supposed to be best friends, right?
Yeah,
I'm friends with all my best friends on my social media platforms.
Mm-hmm. Just don't do it.
Okay.
It's just a weird thing.
Fair enough.
Well, let's go back to the reaction of Victor Wembanyama. I showed it to my wife of all the videos, and she's still like, my wife is not a big sports fan, so she doesn't get how exciting that is. But tonight, again, Game 5, Eastern Conference Finals. You can hear that game on San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 o'clock. Tip-off at 7:30, but it's going to be after the Blitz. Our coverage begins at 7. And I'm thinking more and more about this series. And yesterday, I said I didn't want to be prisoner of the moment. And you praised me a bit.
I did. But it's like now of all times?
Yeah. So I was like, no.
Like this is where you're drawing the line?
Yeah, line in the sand. It was like, okay, they're up 3-0. They're not going to lose 4 games in a row. So I wasn't prisoner of the moment until about an hour ago when Shams Charania of The Athletic tweeted out there that Gabe Vincent isn't playing tonight because of a sprained ankle.
Is it prisoner of the moment, though? Would you say that Boston is the better team?
They're by far the better team.
By far. Would you
It's not even close.
Would you say that going into every single game, they have the Vegas advantage? They
3
are
out
the
of 4
favorite.
games. 3 out of 4 games.
They're the favorite,
Yes.
right? Would you say moving forward now that they should be the favorite in every game that they're playing?
Last I checked the line, they were favored by 8.
8.
And that was before the news of Gabe Vincent not playing tonight.
So how is it overreactionary or being prisoner of the moment? Could it not just be, oh, they found something? Like they found themselves.
The problem that you have is that you see what the Celtics can be when they're firing on all cylinders.
We've known that.
When Tatum and Brown are going off, when Marcus Smart's playing defense, when Derek White's drawing charges, Derek White's knocking down corner threes, when Al Horford makes a presence, when that dinosaur goes out there, actually makes a presence and a difference on the court, you see how special that team can be, Pritchard, and how deep that team can be. The problem is that we've seen all playoffs long happen twice against the Sixers. It happened a couple of times against the Heat,
Atlanta,
where they just don't show up. They literally arrive at the gym, and it's as though they've never played together before. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. So I didn't want to be prisoner of the moment because part of me was like, dude, it's 4 games in a row, right? 4 games in a row. But now...
But it's not outside the thought of possibility that they can win 4 in a row.
Because this is different, man. Because when it comes to these matchups where you're down 3-0, 3-1, typically it is the better team that is up 3-0. Better team that is up 3-1, and they're coming back home. And right now it's not the case because the Celtics need to win all 3 of the next games, right? But 2 of them are at home. And tonight they're playing a game against the Heat, who are without one of their starters, Gabe Vincent. You might go like, who's that, man? I mean, it's all about Jimmy Butler.
I mean, 2.
Well, Gabe Vincent in this series, game 3 had 29 points on 11 of 14 shooting. He knocked down 6 out of 9 3-point attempts. And then in game 4, before he rolled his ankle, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, he had 17 points. The guy's not a scrub. So no Gabe Vincent. They haven't had Tyler Herro.
That's the one.
And now it's like, ooh, it's going to be 3-2. It's going to go back to South Beach. And at that point, if I was a betting man, I would bet the Celtics.
The question becomes, though, does Jimmy Butler just put this on his back at some point?
That's what needs to happen. Like Jimmy Butler and a sprinkle, a dash of Bam Adebayo.
Bam, Jimmy, and
Duncan.
Let's say Duncan gets hot, right? Because eventually Jimmy being Jimmy and taking over a game will open up the perimeter for those guys to have some good open looks. If Duncan or Strauss is just stroking it from behind the line, then that's how Miami can kind of stave this off. Other than that, what I saw in game 4 was the team I thought I should have seen in the first 3 games.
Right.
But now they just have no room for error or a bad shooting night.
Game 4 against the Bucks in round 1, Jimmy Butler went off for a career high 56 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if the Heat are gonna win any of these games, whether it be game 5, 6, or 7, we're gonna need a 45 plus game from Jimmy Butler.
They need a Jimmy takeover.
Yes, most definitely. But man, again, Boston favored by 8, but that was before the news came out. I bet you the balloons to double digits by the time tip-off happens.
It probably does, but I also look at this this series in terms of the fact that while things have gone incredibly poorly through those first 3 games, think about this Celtics team in this postseason, right? In this postseason, this Celtics team, when they've needed to backs against the wall, right? They went down 3-2 to Philly, and Philly was about to close them out.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum didn't wake up till the fourth quarter of that game 6 in Philly. This team plays differently with their backs against the wall.
I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but the player that needs to show up besides Jimmy Butler, and obviously they're going to need to do something with Bam Adebayo. Bam with 10 points in 35 minutes in game 4. That can't happen. Kevin Love. Can he air out 4 threes? Can we get 14 to 16 points from a Kevin Love? Or could it be Duncan Robinson? Can Duncan Robinson be that guy to rattle in 4 or 5 3-pointers? And it doesn't have to be game 5. Do it game 6. When you saw that injury to Gabe Vincent the other day, they played it off like, oh, he's just making his way to the bench. He needs to ice that down. And I thought to myself, dude's not going to play the next game. I have turned an ankle like that before. You've turned an ankle like that before. That lingers for a while. My goodness, man. It's going to go to game 6 in South Beach. And at that point, all the pressure in the world will be on the Miami Heat. This could be a very, very, very interesting turn of events. And I know the NBA wants this because the NBA knows that game 1 of the finals isn't until June 1st. If it ends tonight, there's about a week off, right? But they want Boston in there. They want Boston in there for sure.
This is what Miami can't have, is the inefficiency where Kevin Love's -5, Jimmy Butler's -20, Bam Adebayo's -21, Gabe Vincent was a -16, Duncan Robinson was a -12, Caleb Martin was a -11, Highsmith was a -3. Like they had one positive plus-minus guy on their roster during that game. Max Struss was a net 0, and Cody Zeller was a +3.
Jimmy Butler, be prepared to play for at least 44 minutes tonight. You're only resting 4.
Hey, you got till Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. That is James Pledger. My name is Mike Jimenez. Tim Spence has the day off. When we come back, let's talk about LeBron James, because according to an NBA exec, it was all a smokescreen. All of this talk about retirement was to avoid embarrassment. Do you buy it or not? Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
According to according to Yahoo Sports and The Athletic's Shams Charania, the NBA is considering a new flop rule that would result in technical fouls. Speaking of the NBA, Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight between the Celtics and Heat, with the Heat leading 3-1. That game you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star at 7 o'clock after the Blitz.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
The largest gun show in Central Texas is coming back to the city of San Marcos Convention Center, exit 201 off I-35 this weekend. Guns, knives, collectibles, and more. Texas gun shows this weekend at the city of San Marcos Convention Center, exit 201 off I-35.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Force, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle, so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Did you know you can get someone to shop for you? Stitch Fix really gets me in what I need. Even better, they save me a trip to the mall. It's easy. I share my style, size, and budget, and they do the shopping for me. Stitch Fix sends me things that fit and make me feel like a more stylish version of myself. I keep what works and send back the rest. No subscription required, no commitment, just my style. Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com/radio.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. That's 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Carrie, is this schedule the most updated?
There's a wedding season rush at Dr. Iona's dental practice.
We're fully booked this week. We can try and squeeze you in next Tuesday.
She needs a dental hygienist to unveil fresh smiles.
How long has 3 been under the UV light?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Summer's heating things up, outside and on the grill.
Whether you're smoking a brisket or grilling up veggies, Kingsford Original Charcoal delivers the consistent performance and smoky wood-fired flavor barbecuers crave. Kingsford Original lights faster and has a long burn time, giving you the ultimate grilling experience. So grab a bag of Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford.com. Kingsford Original Charcoal lights faster and delivers consistent performance compared to naturally available charcoal in the USA.
Kickstarting your summer at the Home Depot is all about three things: saving, doing, and mulching. Make the most of our summer savings at the Home Depot now by getting 5 bags of Vigoro Premium Wood Mulch for just $10. Use it to make your garden pop and retain optimal soil moisture. And if you don't know how much you need, make use of the mulch calculator on our app. Summer savings means summer doing and mulching with Vigoro Mulch at 5 for $10 at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're on the go at ESPNSA.com. Streaming live on YouTube right now. Subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star. Tim Spence has the day off, hanging out with my good buddy James Pledger, the Jimmy Chitwood to my Ollie.
Why are you comparing us to the movie Hoosiers?
Well, I mean,
I thought we didn't like that movie.
You knock him down from deep. I shoot underhanded free throw takes over here.
And why can't I be Buddy Hoyle then?
Oh, Billy Hoyle?
Yeah. Why can't I be Billy Hoyle?
Billy Ho. Love that movie. I haven't seen the remake yet.
Well, I haven't either. I'm talking about
The
Woody
original?
Harrelson.
The original. I do like that hat that Wesley Snipes wore in there. It was some sort of liquor brand that he had. Loved it. White Man Can't Jump. The original will always be one of my all-time favorite movies. Let's talk some NBA because LeBron James said after the Lakers got knocked out of the playoffs that he was contemplating retirement. That, it's been a long, long season. Let's hear what LeBron James had to say earlier this week.
We'll see what happens going forward. And I don't know. I got a lot to think about, to be honest. And just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
Didn't believe it the first time I heard it. Didn't believe it now. Even his own shadow, Brian Windhorst of ESPN, says that he doesn't believe it as well. But I saw an article yesterday.
Zero people believed it, Mike.
Yeah, well, there was an NBA executive who wanted to be anonymous in this article, said something to the effect of, you know why LeBron did this, right? It's because they got swept, and this was his way of changing the narrative. And instead of talking about, man, can't believe LeBron got swept again, it's all about will he or won't he retire? Dude, is he that diabolical? Is he that savvy media-wise to realize that just minutes after a game ended that he could change the narrative by just hinting at the idea of retirement?
Yes. He knows that he can control any narrative he wants with a simple phrase. He is, if you've ever noticed, very thoughtful and articulate with his words and how he wants to say things, whether it's in a post-game press conference. He never lets his emotions get the best of him because everything is thought and planned out in the same way that a Tiger Woods did for most of his life and career. Like, there are certain people that know that they can use the media as a weapon.
LeBron James is a fascinating person because there's so much hate going towards him. And the fact of the matter is that he does a lot of good. He donates a lot of money to very good causes out there. He funds schools. He funds college educations. He doesn't get in trouble with the law. He's not pulling a John Moran on Instagram Live. But it's so weird how so many people can't stand him. And I wonder if that's because he threatens the greatness of Michael Jordan. Is it because he's always going deep into the playoffs and made it to the finals, 11 times already? Is it because he jumps from team to team, or is it because we now have LeBron fatigue, or all of it?
We have LeBron fatigue. Like, that's a real thing. We get fatigue on really anything. Think about
Brady.
Well, Brady, anybody that has had sustained greatness. There is a time where you loved them, and then apparently the narrative shifts if they win too much. It's going to happen to Patrick Mahomes at some point. That's just we build people up to tear them back down.
And then sometimes we build them back up a second time.
Yeah. We tried to tear Tiger Woods down. And now we're like, oh, golf's awful without Tiger Woods. What did we do?
Well, with LeBron, though, it's funny because with LeBron, I never cheered for him because obviously as a Spurs fan, they took on the Heat in the finals. They took on the Cavaliers in the finals. And then the jump to LA. Oh my God. I couldn't stand LeBron with the decision. That whole spectacle, taking my talents to South Beach, all of that was trash. The one time I did cheer for him, though, was when they came back 3-1 against the Warriors.
Because he was back home in Cleveland.
He was back home in Cleveland. I could respect that title. Kyrie Irving was going off. Draymond got suspended. All of that went down. But it was also because it showed how great he could be, in the spotlight again, in the NBA Finals against an all-time great team, an all-time great in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. But LeBron, I have fatigue from him. Now, again, I will flip-flop if he does decide to join the Spurs, if the Spurs did draft Bronny James for some reason next year.
Never.
Oh, I would absolutely flip-flop. That fatigue would go away like my Aaron Rodgers fatigue. But I was tired of him until he went to the Jets. So
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, I love it. Give me all the Aaron Rodgers stuff. He tweaked an ankle in OTAs. Let's do this.
Reports today that the NBA is considering assessing a technical foul if someone flops, right? Again, this is going to be tested out. Where do you say it's going to be tested out in the is it G League games or Summer League games? Summer League games. Okay, so if a flop happens, I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's all based on the eyes of the official, right? If the official deems it so, that's going to be, if that gets implemented in the NBA, what one official considers a flop, another one might not. It's going to be all interpretation than anything else.
Which is why, much like a technical foul or a flagrant, it's going to go to a replay.
It has to. Well,
even like in the NFL, I know it's apples and oranges, but targeting. Even if you have to go to the replay to make sure what you saw was what you saw.
Even if that happens and you do go to replay, the problem is that there's a human element to it all. What if the official doesn't like that particular player? What if that official feels the stress from the coach just jawing at him the entire game, feels the pressure of, man, that player has been on my butt the entire day. What if that comes into play? And what if it's about reputation? Draymond Green. What if it's James Harden, LeBron James, who are known as being some of the bigger floppers out there?
You're never going to get rid of that in any aspect of any sport ever unless you go to robot or replay only non-human bias, because I don't care what you say. You have biases as a referee when you referee. You do.
You know what my number one bias was? Because I've officiated high school basketball for 12 years. And I'm thinking about going back this fall.
Good.
The biggest bias I had was whenever there was someone who had their shoes untied.
See?
And it was swoop and loop versus bunny ears. I will wait for you if you do a swoop and loop. But if I have to watch you try to do bunny ears, ball in, baby. Ball in. Dude, I have a bias against those who do bunny ears, man. If you're 40 years old and you're tying your shoes with bunny ears, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I just smile on the inside. I think, and my wife, by the way, is one of them. My wife is the 40-year-old who also does bunny ears to tie her shoes. And I just look at her going, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Team swoop and loop, baby. That's a poll. That has Pole
I
written
don't
all
even
over
know
it.
which is which.
Okay.
I just
do you
tie
take
my
one,
shoes.
Do you take one loop and then swoop around it, then pull, or do you get bunny ear, and then put it together?
I don't know.
I wear flip flops.
No, I'm wearing shoes. I tie them. I just
Let me see. Let me see. Okay, you're pulling out your shoes right now. If you're watching this on the YouTube live stream,
so
okay, let me see. Okay, then you're halfway done. You're a swoop and loop guy. I can respect that.
But those are. But it makes bunny ears.
I will hold off on you, so that we'll inbound the ball
I'm not
when you're
gonna get
done.
a technical foul.
We'll inbound the ball when you're ready to go. But if you're trying to grab your rabbit ears, ball in, dude. Ball in. That's one of my biases that I have on the basketball court.
And this is why. Do you want to get rid of flopping or do you not? Do you want to discourage flopping? Then this is just part of what's going to be. It can't be perfect. It will never be perfect. In any sport, will you ever get anything perfect? We see this with targeting in the NFL. You can't get it 100% right at all times. What you could do is use replay to the best of your ability to mitigate the amount of gratuitous flopping that is going on currently in the NBA.
And there also needs to be somebody there with common sense making these decisions as well. Whether it be targeting, whether it be, oh my God, that is a pass interference. We all saw that was a pass interference. Saints, Rams. I'm still bitter.
You should be. That one was awful.
Yeah, that's one of the worst non-calls of all time. There needs to be common sense as opposed to letter of the law. Like we'll get
Roger Goodell should have come out of the stands, tapped that ref on the shoulder, and said, "You're going home."
Yes, exactly. Hang up your cleats, give up the zebra stripes. You're going home. But you see the rule changes in baseball. The rule changes in baseball have been good when it comes to the clock, the pitch clock, the batter's clock, and all that. I love it. It's all open to interpretation from time to time. But if the NBA can somewhat go back to the style that it was in the 90s and early 2000s, where there was actual defense being played, and the way they play in FIBA.
Hold on. Was it actual defense being played? Because I just rewatched The Last Dance last night because there was no NBA on, so the NBA decided to run The Last Dance in its entirety. Was there actual defense being played? Or did they just let them get away with assault on the basketball court?
That's a great conversation piece. We'll talk about that in the 2:00 hour because we'll count down some of the greatest floppers of all time. Grab your phones, giving away tickets to go see the San Antonio Gunslingers take on the Jacksonville Sharks this Sunday at the Freeman Coliseum. It's Gunslingers Military Appreciation Game. First 500 fans get a Gunslingers patriotic hat for free. This is a family 4-pack looking for caller number 6. Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone line 656-ESPN 656-3776. Tell Edwin that you say hi and that I say hi when you give a call. Again, 656-ESPN. When we come back, let's talk Dallas Cowboys. A kicker that was linked to the boys suddenly isn't linked to them anymore. And we'll hear more about Tony Pollard because Pollard is back, baby. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Today at 3.
Coming up at 3 on The Blitz, can the Boston Celtics make a comeback? Well, they've got another opportunity tonight. We'll get you ready for that. Plus, we're going to visit with John McClain, the general, all about Houston Texans football. We might even talk some Astros as well. It's all on The Blitz, and it all begins at 3 o'clock.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Today at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Attention business owners. Stop throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. Imagine owning your own building and saving thousands every year. Sound impossible? Not if you use General Steel. General Steel can help you save thousands by owning your own custom design building. Just call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to see how much money you can save with General Steel. Our buildings come with a 50-year warranty, and thousands of companies, from Fortune 500 corporations to startups, have trusted the General with their building needs.
If you need to expand or start a new business, you really need General Steel.
I'm very impressed with General Steel. Everyone's been extremely helpful. I'd recommend General Steel to anyone looking to build a steel building.
Stop wasting money on rent. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-74-STEEL to find out about all our popular quick construction kits, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building. Just call 888-747-8335 now. That's 888-74-STEEL.
He's a former coach with two sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
Right. That's real important. The golf game. Right. As we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me, all natural. And that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, looks like the competitive Satch is back.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCkinetics.com. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff. Yeah.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hail Mary, Prescott, touchdown, eh? 100 bands in my pockets on me. 100 deep when I roll like the army. Get more bottles, these bottles are lonely. It's a moment when I show up, God, I'm saying wow.
Jimenez and Spence, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. My name's Mike Jimenez.
I am, thank you.
Hanging out, my buddy James Pledger, or as my wife refers to him, just Pledger. Because if you call him James, I'm not going to know who the heck you're talking about. Did a story with her yesterday. Talked about it for a bit at the end of the show yesterday. I mentioned, I had a conversation with James, and he said this, and he made me laugh when James said this, and James said that. And she goes,
"What led you to calling me James?"
I have no idea. I have never.
You never call me James.
I have never to your face called you James.
I don't know what prompted you to even call me James in the first place in this story.
Let me ask you this.
I prefer Pledger.
When you're dating somebody Do you want that person to call you James, or do you want them to call you Pledge or Pledger?
That's interesting because I've actually had to think about this from people I've dated previously. Most girlfriends have called me James.
I like it.
No,
I like it.
they just
because you're Pledger to everybody else, but you're her James.
Sure.
I
Why
like
not?
it. I like it.
It's just one of those weird things that I guess I wouldn't mind someone calling me because all my best friends call me Pledge or Pledger. Like that's just how I've always it's been my name since I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
nobody's called me James. It's always been Pledge or Pledger or whatever. And so, like, if the person you're dating, supposedly going to marry, whatever, was eventually going to they're going to be your best friend at some point.
Yeah.
Usually you're supposed to marry your best friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my best friends call me Pledge.
I want to continue this talk at the 1 o'clock hour because I think this is fascinating.
It is.
I think it's a fascinating conversation because the nicknames that we have or the names that we go by are sometimes different than what our parents call us or our friends growing up call us. Interesting conversation. We'll do that at 1 o'clock, but let's talk about the Cowboys real quick. OTAs are going on, and the Cowboys have gotten stronger on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball.
Almost everywhere.
Almost everywhere, right? But there are three parts of a team. There's offense, defense, and special teams. And when it comes to special teams, with all due respect to Mr. Anger, I am talking about the kicking game, field goal kicking.
God, you just hate punters, don't you?
Oh, I know. It's
McAfee.
great.
It's McAfee. You hate punters because of McAfee.
Exactly.
I think McAfee is great, by the way.
He looks like he smells.
You look like you smell.
Sometimes it's true. But I cannot believe the Cowboys. It's already May 25th. Kicking is so important in the NFL. Most games are decided by a touchdown or less. That means kicking matters. And when I think of like all-time great teams, Super Bowl teams, I can typically tell you whether or not they have a good kicker or not, right? I'm thinking of like the Vinatieri's and the Vanderjats of the world from back in the day, the Justin Tuckers. Like teams that are good typically have good kickers. And the Cowboys right now they're going, yeah, I know training camp's, less than 2 months away, but we're going to let people go. Brandon McManus was let go, the kicker for the Denver Broncos. He was there for a long time. Got let go. Cowboy fans got excited. Bloggingtheboys.com was all about it. And then all of a sudden, Jacksonville Jaguars this morning scooped him up.
Do you want to know how long Brandon McManus had been in Denver?
Was it like 6 years? 7 years?
I'm not sure exactly the amount of time, but I think it's somewhere between like 7 and 8 years.
Yeah.
Brandon McManus, with the Broncos releasing him, nobody on the Broncos roster has beaten the Chiefs since Patrick Mahomes became quarterback. Brandon McManus was the last person on that roster that had beaten the Chiefs.
That is a great stat right there. That is a great stat right there. I mean, do you think that this is a cause for concern? I mean, is this something that is the elephant in the room that we all have to address? It's right there. We know it's an issue, but why are we not talking about it?
I want to talk about this more, but time constraints have us constrained. I think we should carry this conversation over because I think this is part of a bigger issue for the Cowboys. This is just this year's version of it.
Right.
But we've seen it in past iterations of the Dallas Cowboys that the same thing always comes back that eventually ends up biting the Cowboys in the long run because what they do is they drag their feet on something of importance that usually comes back to bite them every single year.
It's so important, man. It's so important. Next hour, we're talking a lot about the Cowboys because, again,
like you can have a great kicker and be an awful team. Don't get me wrong.
We're talking Cowboys in the next hour. We're also talking Victor Wembanyama, who, by the way, has his high tops on. He's taking the court in Paris this afternoon. That's right, baby. I'll be giving them updates.
We're gonna lose you
between
again.
now and 3 o'clock. Yeah, you have to fly this show because I'm watching Wemby, baby. When we come back, we're going to talk about that kicking situation involving the Dallas Cowboys, but also want to hear what Patrick Mahomes had to say about making money as a star quarterback for a team and whether or not Dak Prescott should take note, pay attention, follow suit. This is Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jimenez and Spence. Jimenez and Spence. KTFM, Floresville. And always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Like Morpheus says in The Matrix, I'm starting to believe in the Texas Rangers. Of 3 games in the AL West, the Rangers and Astros have the day off. The NBA is thinking about assessing a technical foul if you flop. It's going to be done in the Summer League, might make its way to the NBA. And tonight, Game 5, Heat Celtics in Boston. You can hear the game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 7 after the Blitz.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
Mike Jimenez.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Tim Spence.
Victory! Cowboys win!
It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yes. If you're watching the YouTube stream on San Antonio Sports Star, again, subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. You can not only listen to the show, but you can watch the show as well. When I did that headline, we sometimes joke with each other and with Spence. We say, tighten it up, let it breathe a little bit, because we do this live. And I was ad-libbing the entire segment right there.
Oh, it was great.
And what was so funny was that I hit it good. Like, that was one of the best headlines I ever did. And you were trying to complain and give me crap about it.
I was just bringing it a little bit.
And I was like, no. I stuck the landing, Kerry Strug style, and I did the pose.
I'll tell you, I feel sometimes in these because we have these high countertops.
Yeah.
And we have these chairs that either go really high or really low. And a lot of the times I don't like being kind of that low in relevance with the table. Yeah.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, sometimes I put that chair up and my feet just kind of dangle, and I already kind of am like a big kid, but I just feel like
your
a
legs are
child as I'm
flopping.
just kind of kicking my legs under this table.
and because of that, because we're so high up to the table, that is why I had so much food on my shoulder the other day when it squirted out of my sandwich. I had to pick it up in a weird way. I didn't even notice. I had a big old piece of meat. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, this is why Spence says don't have too much time, don't have too much fun on this show whenever you and I do it, because this is the ADHD episode of a show. You and I bounce back and forth because we talk this way at a bar.
Yeah.
This is when we go to the Rue Pub or Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar or Tin Cup Bar. This is the way that we talk.
I will say this, continuing our conversation that I said we were going to about the Cowboys and the kicker. You said they lost Brandon McManus. They drugged their feet. All of a sudden, he is in Jacksonville now. They picked him up after the Broncos let him go. And so now the Cowboys' options have dwindled. I wasn't as big a fan of Brandon McManus as you and Spence were, but I think there are better options out there. Specifically, Robbie Gould's the best option, I believe. And there is a Mike McCarthy tie with Mason Crosby still hanging about out there.
Yeah, Mason Crosby, Robbie Gould. I mean, these are guys that have been around forever. I'm looking up Robbie Gould's stats, and
That's
I'm going
my guy.
all
I'm
the way down
circling
to
him.
2005. He has been there since 2005. My thing about Robbie Gould, and I'm not going to say that I'm an expert in Robbie Gould kicking, but I do call myself the fantasy god. And Robbie Gould was the guy that was just money from 45 in.
Yeah.
But 50 and beyond, I'm going to look up the stats
What's
right
more
now.
important to you?
Dude, it all comes into play, man.
No, it all comes into play. But at this point in time in your life, in the off season, beggars can't be choosers, right?
Right.
So what's the most important thing to you? Is it having a guy that can kick from 50 to 60 yards and possibly make one of those, or a guy who is absolute money and hits over 85% from inside 50.
I'd rather have the guy that has the leg to go 50-55.
That's
because at that point, dude, I know what you're saying because Robbie Gould, I'm looking at his stats career-wise.
What was the issue with Brett Maher?
From 40 to 49 yards, career, right? Career. This guy is 134 out of 173 from 40 to 49, which is not bad, right? We're talking about, off the top of my head, that's probably about a 75, 78% accuracy, right?
Exactly.
From 50 and beyond, not bad, 36 out of 51. But there's something to be said about a kicker, whether it be McPherson from Cincinnati or Justin Tucker or these types of kickers who, just get the ball to the 40 and we have a chance to score. I don't want the kicker that's going to get you all the way. Like, we have to get inside the 28 for him to be out there and have confidence in him.
No, you know what the difference in that is? You get them to the 50, they give you a shot, sure. And I believe you have that with Robbie Gould. It's not as high of a probability of a make as them, but he can make it from there. His average drops a little, but whose doesn't the further you get away?
No, I get that.
My thing is, what was the issue with Brett Maher last year?
He got the yips, man. It was confidence.
From where?
He got the yips from like 30.
Exactly.
30, 35, 40 yards.
An extra point is not the gimme it used to be. I need a guy that can give me an extra point. I need that guy. Because if this Cowboys offense is as potent as I think it is, I can't be leaving points on the field on extra points. Those are the important points.
So I'm looking at Robbie Gould's stats, and I think a couple of things here. From 50 and beyond last year, he was 2 for 2. He played all 17 games with the Niners last year at age 40. Why was he only out there twice? Is it because they didn't trust him?
Well, think about where they play, too.
I know, but they don't play all their games at home.
No, but circumstances. And remember, that offense is very efficient.
Well, this guy's played in windy situations his entire career. Chicago, the Giants, San Francisco.
Yes.
They didn't really trot him out there very often, but from 40 to 49 last year, he was 7 out of 11. My math says that's 63%. The year before that, he was 7 of 9. The year before that, 9 out of 10. I know that you're getting an experienced guy that's been around the block.
And that's clutch.
I don't know, man. Don't know if I'll trust a 41-year-old leg.
I will tell you this. I trust his leg more than I trust Mason Crosby's because I watch both the Niners and the Packers play a lot. And I saw Mason Crosby miss a lot more extra points and close kicks than he should have. And I've seen Robbie Gould make a ton more than that. So that's just it. But the big question is the Cowboys kicking situation. Will Mike McCarthy address that today in OTAs, what their kicking situation currently is?
Oh, good. I think it's, I would definitely say it's fluid, and so, we'll continue to work that. I mean, just, it's stating the obvious. You got the XFL that finished up, the USFL. So we're looking at all the opportunities and obviously the waiver wire. So we definitely want to have competition, at the kicking position.
I love me some head coach Mike McCarthy. I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Fluid.
But whenever I hear the word fluid, I know what that is code for. Cluster F is what that is. Fluid to me means we've made no decisions. We don't know what we're doing. That's what fluid means to me. If I ask you a question, hey, how's your dating life? Well, it's fluid. How's that girl that you're dating? It's fluid. How's your job? Well, things are fluid right now. That is not a good thing. That is not a good thing.
It is not, but that is the true thing, and I believe that is probably the most honest answer we've ever gotten from Mike McCarthy because it is fluid, because it is not set. Jonathan Garibay or Tristan Vizcaino ain't the guy.
That ain't it. Hunter Duplessis, where are you, my man?
I do believe he's on a roster somewhere.
Cowboy fans, what do you think? Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone line 656-ESPN 656-3776. We got David, line 1. What's going on, David?
Look.
What's up, Pledge? So, hey, man, this is the times where I always feel like Jimenez drinks on the job. I really, we've shared beers out of the roof up, like you said. I swear you sneak something into the office. And hey, if they don't fire you, go for it. Enjoy. But with the Cowboys offense, it's a high-powered offense that's going to have more opportunities for a Robbie Gould, that you're going to have more opportunities within the 40 yards that you need to make than 50, 60 yards where that offense ain't going to make it all the way down. And think about it. Saints fans, Texans fans. Somebody misses from 50, 60 yards, you go, oh, well, it was a good shot, man. Let it try. Within 40 yards, you're throwing your beer at the TV and losing your mind because it's so easy. So I'm sorry, man. Mike, I love you, brother, but I got to disagree with you one more time.
David, welcome to 2023, my man, because the way that you're thinking about players right now, I'm sorry. I think it should be a gimme from 53 in. 53 in should be 85, 90% of the time all the way downtown. Because, dude, I remember growing up, and
there are two of those kickers in the league.
I remember growing up, it was like, oh my God, it's a 46-yard kick. It's a very difficult one. 46 is automatic. 48 is automatic. 50 should be automatic. And for some kickers, 52, 53. Going beyond that, okay, fine. Now, I will understand if there's weather conditions, if it's very windy, or if they've got wind in their face, a headwind. I would understand all of that, right? So there's some caveats to it all. But have some standards for these kickers.
But
they mean so much.
You talk about Robbie, and at this point of the offseason, you have to take the best of what's available. You're not finding Justin Tucker the day before training camp starts. You're just not. They're all gone. They're on rosters. So you got to find the best of what fits your needs. And what you need is a kicker that is going to be highly efficient. Like Robbie Gould was 50 of 51 from extra point. That's what you need. You need to make your extra points. He was 5 of 5 from 40 and in. He was 13 of 14 inside 20. He's 7-11 from 40 to 49, 2 of 2 from 50. These are
7 of 11 from 40 to 49 is not good.
No, but think about where he plays. Levi's Stadium, that sod, they grow it out, is longer. It is usually bad weather. There are circumstances to missed field goals that you're just looking at it on a spreadsheet and not the situation of the game in which he missed it, in which maybe it was windy, maybe it was raining, maybe it was on turf.
Evan McPherson would have made him. Kielbasa Smoke Beats phone line 656 ESPN. We've got Ryan on line 2. What's going on, Ryan?
Yeah, I totally agree with Pledger, but coming from the XFL, I
you're
think
stupid.
No,
I'm saying it's because I'm saying
he's
Mike.
He's pointing at me.
He gestured. I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
I agree with Pledger, but coming from the XFL, I think Dallas should have taken Romo from the San Antonio Brahmas, because I was at the Houston Roughnecks game against the Brahmas, and he made a clutch kick to make it to turn it into overtime.
Appreciate the phone call, Ryan. Yeah, the XFL, the USFL, these are stones that the Cowboys have mentioned. Like they mentioned a handful of kickers, and then the USFL and the XFL in terms of finding kickers. And remember, the USFL is going on right now, so they can wait until after that season and possibly bring in a kicker. But the reason that I alluded to in the last hour was why this is important is because the Cowboys dragged their feet on everything, and it always comes back to bite them. They drugged their feet when it came to signing Dak Prescott. They ended up franchise tagging him, and then having to pay him where if they would have done it initially, they would have probably saved themselves about $10 million per year on the contract, because at that point in time when you could have signed him, quarterbacks were only making about $29 million at that point in time.
We'll be talking more about the quarterback situation on the other side, but the caller...
But that's not the only thing. We looked at the Dallas Cowboys, and they've dragged their feet on a secondary wide receiver. All of a sudden, they felt they had to grasp and trade a first-round pick for Amari Cooper because they had no number one wide receiver. Remember that year where they thought Cole Beasley could be their number one along with Terrence It's not Terrence
It's not
Newman.
Steele.
It was Terrence Williams.
There you go.
It was T. Will out of Baylor. Like they've done this multiple times at every turn. They did it with the kicker position last year, and then finally they lucked into Brad Maher right before the season started because they were trying to run it with Jonathan Garibay and Liram Haralahu.
I remember Haralahu.
This is
who was the one that kicked the ball so poorly
that
at
it almost
camp hit like the media.
It almost hit Rudy J.
Yeah.
I believe that was Garibay, the former Texas Tech kicker.
Our caller talking about John Parker Romo of the San Antonio Brahmas, who is now with the Detroit Lions. This is a guy that made 9 out of 10 from 40 to 49, kicked a 57-yarder for San Antonio this past season, was 17 of 19 on the year. Hey, he's on a squad, has a chance. When we come back, let's talk about Dak Prescott and hear from Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes, some very interesting comments about his place in the organization and how he wants to treat his salary and the salary cap situation. And should Dak Prescott take note of this? Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, I get to argue with RJ Ochoa blogging the boys at 7:30.
It's a Friday edition, a weekday edition. What are you going to be grilling? We're talking hoops, we're talking football, we're talking holiday. The party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hi there, I'm Dwayne Charping, owner of Roof Fix. We understand how stressful it is dealing with storm damage. That's why we're offering a special deductible relief program that gives you instant rebates up to $2,500 that you can use towards your deductible. Plus, our relief program also includes 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 6 months with approved credit.
Call Roof Fix today at 210-FIX-ROOF or visit their website at rooffixsa.com.
Roof Fix.
Home of the low price guarantee.
It's patio season, so get over to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road to enjoy the great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks, happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6, and the kitchen is open late until 2 a.m. every day. Add the Roo Pub into your lunch rotation with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. You know there is no better place to watch a game, and they always have all the fights. The Roo Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it, because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices at participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, Jason Minix here for Noble Gold and their website, noblegoldinvestments.com. If you've been thinking of how to secure the value of your assets and grow your wealth, you need to think gold. After the latest bank failures and other economic news that could devalue the dollar, gold is a safe investment to secure your wealth. If you're not sure what to do, that's not a problem. Go to the website, noblegoldinvestments.com. At Noble Gold, they will walk you through everything. They'll even email you their gold and silver investors guide. Go look at what the price of gold was in 1970 up until today. Go and look at what the price of gold was 10, 15 years ago. A lot of people wish they would have bought back then, either in physical gold or an IRA. Don't wish you did this down the road. Go to the website today, noblegoldinvestments.com. Use promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin. They're offering people that qualify. Mark it down to do today. noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
I was in a terrible car accident. I suffered a traumatic brain injury and also injured my spine. My daughter-in-law called Jeff Davis. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $86,559. I want everyone in San Antonio to know Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Simply Safe was named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. But we don't do what we do for the accolades. We do it to protect you and everything you love. Our advanced sensors, indoor and outdoor HD cameras, and hazard detectors are powered by live 24/7 professional monitoring, so you get emergency help fast. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Get yourself a Kinetico water system. I'm a huge fan of Kinetico water softeners. These things are quiet, efficient, reliable, and non-electric. But the best part is you'll save money when you own a Kinetico water softener. And I know, living in the hill country, you folks have some serious hard water that can cost you major money in cleaning supplies and wear and tear on your appliances. Plus, Kinetico water softeners are guaranteed to remove more impurities and perform with lower lifetime costs than any other softener on the market. Kinetico is a great choice for folks that are fed up with their old junky water softeners. So for the best water softener in the business and to save money, call Kinetico today.
This is Chris Knipper with Kinetico in San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try the Kinetico water softener for 90 days, absolutely free. Kinetico is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
Cowboys are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tim Spence has the day off hanging out with James Pledger. Edwin Hafner producing today's show. We talk a lot about the Cowboys because the Cowboys,
they're the tip of the spear.
Yeah, they're always on our mind. OTA is going on right now. OTA is going on right now, and I find a lot of what head coach Mike McCarthy had to say today to be very interesting. We're going to hear from Mike McCarthy between now and 3 o'clock because today was the media day, if you will. The OTAs have been going on since, last Friday or so? But today was the day that they finally had media availability, and we're going to hear from Mike McCarthy a little bit more throughout this show. But before we get into the Cowboys, I want to get into the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to get into their star quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, and how he focuses on his place on the team. Patrick Mahomes, we know, is the best player in the NFL. No one can dispute that. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback, best player in the NFL. The most valuable player in the NFL, in fact. But he doesn't get paid that way. Patrick Mahomes, don't get me wrong, he's not making chump change. He's making $45 million a year, but that makes him the 7th highest paid player in the NFL. 6 other quarterbacks make more. Lamar Jackson, $52 million. You have Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, both of them north of $50 million.
Yep.
And he's there at
Dak
45.
Prescott at 45.
Dak Prescott's in the low 40s. He's closer to 40. Yeah, he's the 9th highest paid quarterback in the league.
Deshaun's at 45. Sorry.
That's right. See, I like it when I nitpick you. Okay. So the thing about it is this, is that Dak Prescott is due for a raise of some sort. He's due for an extension because explain this to the listeners out there, Pledge. If the Cowboys don't extend him, that cap hit next season,
$60 million.
Ginormous. $60 million.
59 and change, but it's such a significant amount of change or insignificant amount of change that it is $60 million cap hit next year.
The Cowboys cannot go into the offseason next year with that cap hit like that.
I believe they'll drag their feet to it.
So they're going to have to extend him, right? And the way you extend him is you push the money out into the future and you make that cap hit next year not so bad. But let's hear from Patrick Mahomes because the star quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs was talking about what it takes to win in the NFL and what he thinks his role is within the team.
Yeah, I mean, I always keep me, my agent, and the team always keep open communication, and we try to do whatever is the best for the team. But obviously, I want to do the best for myself as well. But at the same time, I want to. I've always said I worry about legacy and winning rings more than making money at this moment. But I know we keep communication. We see what's going on around the league. But at the same time, I'll never do anything that's going to hurt us from keeping the great players around me. So it's kind of teetering around that line.
Legacy and rings. That's what Patrick Mahomes wants.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Who's that?
Sounds a lot like what Tom Brady did for 20 plus years.
Sounds a lot like what Tim Duncan did when he was with the Spurs as well. The thing about it is that quarterbacks always set the market, and you think 52 million's a lot right now. Wait till Justin Herbert signs his deal. Wait till Trevor Lawrence signs his deal. Wait till my man from LSU, Cincinnati Bengal, Joe Burrow, signs his deal.
To be fair, Patrick Mahomes also set the market when he first signed his deal. The difference is he signed a 10-year deal.
That's right.
Now, there were spaces to restructure and free up money and do different things. Like his agent, Lee Steinberg, scheduled his deal for multiple possible outs or restructures to keep him near the top of the list when it comes to quarterbacks. But hearing a quarterback say that, you pray every single organization, every fan of any team should pray that that's their quarterback's mindset.
I look at it two different ways. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes saying that it's all about rings and legacy, but it's not like he's middle of the pack when it comes to pay.
No.
Tom Brady was always right around 10 or 11 in quarterback pay.
But he's leaving not just money, but a lot of money. And by not wanting to force himself back to the table to be like, look, guys, I'm underpaid. Got to do something about this, which is what any normal quarterback that is on a longer deal like this would try and do, is force their way back to the negotiating table.
If Mahomes demanded 55 million right now, the answer would be yes.
Yes.
If he demanded 58 right now, the answer would be yes.
There's not a number that I can't say. I mean, I'm sure there is.
25% of the salary cap is basically the cap.
I can't envision saying no to Patrick Mahomes. But the fact that he has this mindset to make sure that the people around him still get paid so that he can keep talent around him to keep his championship window open is admirable, because it's not just about that, because what Patrick Mahomes is doing also affects kind of everyone else. And Patrick Mahomes did in fact talk about the game of jump rope that he has to play between him and basically every other quarterback in the NFL.
It's interesting that Patrick Mahomes is closer in pay to Daniel Jones and Derek Carr than he is to Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. And this is the game of jump rope that Patrick Mahomes ends up having to playing, because it's about him, but also not hurting the Players Association or the other quarterbacks in this league.
You just want to do whatever to not hurt other quarterbacks whenever their contracts come up. But you want to kind of keep the bar pushing. And so it's not about being the highest paid guy. It's not about making a ton of money. I've made enough money where I'll be set for the rest of my life. But at the same time, you got to find that line where you're making a good amount of money, but you're still keeping a lot of great players around you so you can win these Super Bowls and you're able to compete in these games.
Is that a hard line to walk?
Yeah, it is. I think it is for all these guys. I think you see the guys that are getting paid this last offseason, they're trying to find that right spot. Everybody wants to get paid a lot of money. And whenever they think they're the best at their craft, they want to get paid like that. But at the same time, if you look at the greats in the league, I mean, they find that right spot where they're getting paid a lot of money but at the same time, keeping a lot of these great players around me. And so I understand you look at the team and, you got guys like Chris and Snead and even Travis, all these guys that you need to keep around you to have these great teams. But at the same time, you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So we have open communication. I think that's the biggest thing. And you see that from Clark, you see that from Coach Reed, you see that from Veach and everybody, is we just try to make sure that we have the best team on that football field and everybody gets what they deserve.
Patrick Mahomes saying he's set for life, and so is his brother, Jackson Mahomes. But, I don't know, man. I look at this list right here of all the quarterbacks being paid right now.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes being number 7 just seems wrong. And the fact that this time next year, if his contract is not restructured, he doesn't get a raise, he'll be number 10, 11, or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And as he just said, he needs to go with the flow at least a little bit. It's a juggling. It's a balance between getting paid because other quarterbacks want to get paid too.
Exactly.
He's part of that fraternity. But at the same time, he wants to leave some on the table so he can have some weapons out there.
Yeah, he wants to have Kelsey. He wants to have offensive linemen protecting him because he knows they're all important to his own personal success and his ultimate goal, which is competing and winning titles. And to be fair, he's put himself in that situation. He's at least been in the AFC Championship game every year he's started since joining the league. That's an insane thing. Like, we talk about insanity with Brady stats and how many Super Bowls and how many times he made it to the AFC title game. Patrick Mahomes doesn't know a life where he hasn't at least made the AFC Championship game.
Insanity, by the way. Use that word right now. CJ Stroud this season is going to make more than Joe Burrow. That is insanity.
What's the rookie wage scale? It goes up every year.
Number 1 overall pick.
Number 2.
Oh, that's right. But in my heart, he was the first player selected in the draft that's over 6 feet tall.
And CJ Stroud, while he'll make more, it's slotted. So we all knew that this was coming. To me, I look at this list, and it's fair for him to stay near the top. But that's the most important thing, staying near the top. Most people that come up to get their contract, what are they looking for? They're looking to be the highest paid or have the highest annual average value or have the most amount of guaranteed money. These don't feel like things that Patrick's really looking to have on his resume. He already got it once. He got the 450 first ever.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like from here,
it's been a while.
He's going to go the Brady route, and he's going to stay in the top 10, but I don't think he's looking to be at the top.
That's James Pledger. He's on Twitter at I am Pledger. My name is Mike Jimenez. I'm at Mike ESPNSA. When we come back, Victor Wembanyama back on the court today playing in France. Should we be all excited about this? Are you as excited as I am? And Bleacher Report predicts a possible trade involving the Spurs in their latest mock draft. No, it does not involve Wemby, but it does involve a fan favorite, Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
In college basketball, 5-star recruit Caleb Love, a junior, is in the transfer portal and is reportedly considering Texas, Gonzaga, and Arizona, according to 24/7 Sports. In the NBA, it's Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight as the Celtics try and keep their series alive again as they trail the Heat 3-1. Tip-off is at 7:30, but you can hear it right here on San Antonio Sports Star after the Blitz at 7.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
We're in the studio right now with Jose Rios from the Gomez Law Firm. Jose, tell us a little about Gomez Law.
Number one priority is to let the people know that we are a law firm that's been part of this community for almost 50 years. You know, Mr. Gomez, he's been a practicing attorney here since 1973. He's born and raised here in San Antonio, done nothing but help out personal injury victims for almost half a century. It's very important that we get that out to the San Antonio community because a lot of these attorneys like to come in here and act like they're from here, but, you know, they're all out-of-towners. They don't know what goes on here. They really don't know.
If you have been injured in an accident, injured at work, or hit by a company vehicle, don't take on the big insurance companies by yourself. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere. And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
If you have been injured in an accident, injured at work, or hit by a company vehicle, the first place you need to go is joegomezlaw.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braden.
Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals.
Hey, sweetie, are you hungry?
She needs more early childhood educators.
Did your sock slip off again?
And a nap.
Hey there, little guy. Okay. Shh. Whoa.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive presents an ad from Mom.
What does it say here? Bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive and get protection round the clock. You know what? I'm sorry. I think it should be around. What are you signaling? Me to stop talking? Oh, all right. I'll stop talking. No, just had to tell me. That's all you had.
Get round-the-clock protection when you bundle and save with Progressive. It's easier than getting your mom to make this radio ad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Summer's heating things up, outside and on the grill. Whether you're smoking a brisket or grilling up veggies, Kingsford Original Charcoal delivers the consistent performance and smoky wood-fired flavor barbecuers crave. Kingsford Original lights faster and has a long burn time, giving you the ultimate grilling experience. So grab a bag of Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford.com. Kingsford Original Charcoal lights faster and delivers consistent performance compared to nationally available charcoal in the USA.
Kickstarting your summer at the Home Depot is all about three things: saving, doing, and mulching. Make the most of our summer savings at the Home Depot now by getting 5 bags of Vigoro Premium Wood Mulch for just $10. Use it to make your garden pop and retain optimal soil moisture. And if you don't know how much you need, make use of the mulch calculator on our app. Summer savings means summer doing and mulching with Vigoro Mulch at 5 for $10 at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're watching Wemby here on San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Mike Jimenez. Tim Spence has the day off. James Pledger co-hosting today. Edwin Hafner producing today's show. Wemby is back on the court right now. Pledge and I are watching this game. It's on NBA.com.
We're watching it
kind of together.
4 feet apart, maybe?
We're 4 feet apart, but what's weird about it is that my computer is 9 seconds slower than Pledger's computer. So he's all cheering, and then 10 seconds later, I start cheering. Like an echo in here. But right now, Wemby's team is winning 9-7. This is a playoff game. I believe this is game 5 of that series against Collet. Is that what we would call that team? Anyway, I believe the winner of this game advances to the next round. Wemby's team lost the last game at the buzzer. The opposing team hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer to win the game.
Are you saying this is a must-win?
This is a must-win if Wemby wants to advance in this playoffs. But nothing major going on right now. But this is basically a glorified high school gym that they're playing in, because I think they only go about 20 rows deep in this place.
I mean, those courtside seats are sick, though.
They are.
Anyway, so what about Wemby?
Well, we're excited because, we get to see our guy in action. Wemby played well last game, 23 points, 14 rebounds, had a few assists, but he also had a lot of turnovers. He's had 11 turnovers in the past 2 games. So when I'm watching this game, I want to see, can he take care of the ball? And Wemby right now is underneath the basket, got fouled underneath the basket.
Oh, no, yeah. That happened about 10 seconds ago.
You jerk. Absolutely.
Sorry, I already know what's going on here. You want me to let you know if
this is like, they're already in the third quarter over there. I'm in the first quarter. But Wemby was trying to camp out down low under the bucket. But I'm just fascinated to see what he's doing offensively, because I know defensively what he brings to the table. The guy can block shots. The guy can guard multiple positions. But I want to see what he does offensively. And what we have seen from him over the past couple of games is his ability to run the break, his ability to get offensive rebounds, his ability to knock down some threes from time to time. Though he was 1 for 5 in the last game, I believe he was 2 for 3 or 1 for 2 in the game before, and 2 for 3 the game before that. So he's not shooting poorly from 3 this past week or so.
Oh, okay.
For the year, he's right around 30% for the year.
28.
Okay. I rounded up.
You rounded way up. You would never give Jeremy Sohan that benefit of the doubt.
Okay. There's no Sohan slander, because he's a very good compliment to Victor Wembanyama. Bleacher Report has an article today saying that there should be 3 trades in the first round of the NBA draft, which, by the way, is 4 weeks from today. That's when the Spurs will select Wemby number 1 overall.
If they're suggesting we trade the number 1 overall pick for some package of something, they're smoking on.
No.
Okay.
No, they're suggesting that the Spurs should move back into the first round.
Oh, Houston Texans style.
Houston Texans style, right. And I'm not opposed to this, but I found it interesting what they think the Spurs should do here. They believe that the Spurs should target Portland's number 6 overall pick.
3. Does Portland have 2 first rounders?
Ooh, well, somehow or another in this article, it says that they would have 2 first rounders, or maybe it's Portland trading down and then picking up more capital. Either way, the trade is this: Spurs moving up into the lottery again and drafting Osar Thompson, who is one of the Thompson twins, G League Ignite, and also getting Keon Johnson, who was a top pick a couple of years ago, and Yusuf Nurkic in exchange for one Keldon Johnson, saying that Keldon Johnson might actually be a good compliment for Dame Lillard.
All right, so run this by me, because I'm trying to figure out. I got lost in the fact that Portland was somehow had Orlando's pick at 6. So what's the package for getting Osar Thompson? So they're trading up to 6. So somehow Portland ends up at 6.
Somehow Portland ends up at 6.
Okay.
Right, because they're not going to, because
they traded down with Orlando, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Portland then doing yet another trade to try to get capital. They're trying to get weapons, essentially, according to this article, for Dame Lillard, right? So if you drop from 3 to 6, you can get somebody at that 3 spot. And then if you trade that 6 pick, you can actually get another piece of the puzzle for Dame Lillard. That's
so what are the pieces of the puzzle that they're getting versus giving up, aside from 6 and Osar Thompson?
Keon Johnson and Nurkic.
Former first-round pick, and Yusuf Nurkic, a big that you can use to complement Victor Wembanyama. I don't hate it.
No,
What are you giving up?
I don't hate it either. Keldon Johnson.
That's it?
Just Keldon Johnson. That's it.
You get 3 pieces for Keldon Johnson,
Yeah.
including the 6th pick.
So to backtrack a little bit here, the Portland Trailblazers, according to Bleacher Report, saying, you know what they should do? It says they should trade Anthony Simons and the number 3 pick for Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris, and the number 6 and 11 pick overall from Orlando. So they get basically trade their number 3 pick for 2 pieces and 2 other lottery picks, and then do the trade with the Spurs, where the Spurs can then get Oscar Thompson, who's known as to be a very, very good defender. Amen Thompson's considered to be the better, more explosive offensive player. Oscar, in this particular situation, is more the defender type of guy, though he does have some offensive game, and he's a better 3-point shooter than his brother. I like Oscar Thompson. He's probably my favorite of the Thompson twins, to be honest with you.
I like him too. I think both him and Amen bring different skill sets. One of them's more of a 3-and-D guy. The other one has a bit of athleticism and some ball handling to him, but both provide, I think, some value to a team. I think Oscar has the higher upside, if we're being honest, but at the same time, do you like that trade?
I don't hate it. I'm not saying that I like it. I just don't hate it.
I don't necessarily like it.
The thing about Nurkic, though, is that he can, just like Zach Collins, he's a stretch 5.
Just like Zach Collins, a injury-riddled former Portland Trailblazer.
Played only 54 games last season. But he's a stretch guy who typically averages around 15 points per game, typically gets about 8 or 9 rebounds per game. He's a decent defensive player. Do I love this? It all depends on whether or not we believe that a player like Oscar Thompson is going to blossom into something special.
Now, if you told me this was for the number 3 pick and you got Scoot Henderson, I'm probably singing a little bit of a different tune.
Oh, no, that'd be an overwhelming yes. Or a Brandon Miller, overwhelming yes. But it's interesting to see all the different directions the Spurs can go in. There's no smoke, nor is there any fire when it comes to this. But it's interesting to see that the Spurs right now are out there interviewing players that are supposed to be taken early on. I'm fascinated by the fact that they've interviewed some of the Thompson twins. They've interviewed a lot of the. I know that they interviewed another player who's supposed to go in the somewhere in the teens.
Yep.
The ability to trade up, the Spurs have it. If they have a player that they identify that happens to slide down the draft, don't be surprised if they jump up and catch that guy.
Like Kawhi, they identified a guy and went got him. I know we're not supposed to say his name, but
one of the greatest articles I ever read on ESPN was called "The Anatomy of a Trade," and it involved Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
And it talked about the fact that the Spurs identified Kawhi Leonard as the guy that they wanted, and they assumed that he would go somewhere between 4 and 6 in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be on the safe side, they reached out to the Portland Trailblazers and said, by the way, we'd be willing to trade you George Hill for the number 15 pick. Would you want it? Yes, great. If our guy is there, we'll let you know and we'll consummate this trade. And what ended up happening was Kawhi Leonard slid down that draft, and the Pacers reached out to the Spurs and said, are you guys going after Kawhi? And the Spurs basically told them, that is our business, not yours.
Yep.
We had agreed to a trade. Do you want to do this trade or not?
And remember, earlier this year, we heard Nick Caserio break down trading back up to 3. And what is that deal was in place, basically the parameters of it before the draft even happened.
Right. I mean, it isn't like draft day in the movie, with Kevin Costner. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of an element to that, but really a lot of this is set in motion days in advance.
Before we get out of here, there's this really cool article on ESPN. I just want quick yes, no answers from you if you would do this, because you wonder what it'd take to get a Victor Wembanyama. Well, ESPN has 3 hypothetical trades.
You know what? Let's continue this conversation. I don't want to do a yes or no. Let's do this on the other side. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3.
Coming up at 3 on The Blitz, can the Boston Celtics make a comeback? Well, they've got another opportunity tonight. We'll get you ready for that. Plus, we're going to visit with John McClain, the general, all about Houston Texans football. We might even talk some Astros as well. It's all on The Blitz, and it all begins at 3 o'clock.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe, today at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get yourself a Connecticut water system. I'm a huge fan of Connecticut water softeners. These things are quiet, efficient, reliable, and non-electric. But the best part is you'll save money when you own a Connecticut water softener. And I know, living in the hill country, you folks have some serious hard water that can cost you major money in cleaning supplies and wear and tear on your appliances. Plus, Connecticut water softeners are guaranteed to remove more impurities and perform with lower lifetime costs than any other softener on the market. Connecticut is a great choice for folks that are fed up with their old junky water softeners. So for the best water softener in the business and to save money, call Connecticut today.
This is Chris Knipple with Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try the Connecticut water softener for 90 days, absolutely free. Connecticut is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health San Antonio has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
It's time to play Stump the Experts, where today we'll try to stump Derek and Carlos, personal injury lawyers at Hilly & Solis, otherwise known as the Rexperts.
Hi, Harry. Fire away.
Carlos, how long after an accident do you have to file a personal injury lawsuit?
Well, Harry, there's a 2-year statute of limitations on filing.
Correcto, expert man. Now, Derek, if a company goes bankrupt, can you still win and collect a big settlement?
You definitely can if the company had insurance.
Hey, guys, one more question. How do you like my new baby blue suit with matching shoes and belt?
Honestly, that should be illegal.
Hurt in a wreck? You need to call the Rexperts at Hilly & Solis Law. Millions in settlements and no BS. The Rexperts are former prosecutors who are comfortable in the courtroom, and the Rexperts don't get paid unless your settlement is secured. See if your crash could turn into cash with the Rexperts, your accident injury lawsuit experts.
Experts are the way to go. Call 446-5000.
Call 1-877-RECT.
Ready for some over-the-top professional football, San Antonio? San Antonio Gunslingers football games are played on a 50-yard field, which makes the action uniquely fast, up close, over the wall, high-scoring, and fan-friendly. Come see your San Antonio Gunslingers take on the Jacksonville Sharks this Sunday at 3 p.m. at the Freeman Coliseum. Plus, this Sunday's San Antonio Gunslingers game is the Military Appreciation Game. The first 500 fans will receive a San Antonio Gunslingers patriotic hat. Enjoy affordable family fun with tickets as low as $10. And as always, there will be a free meet and greet with players after the game. Don't miss the San Antonio Gunslingers Military Appreciation Game this Sunday afternoon at the Freeman Coliseum at 3 p.m. Arrive early to be one of the first 500 fans to receive a free limited edition San Antonio Gunslingers patriotic hat. For tickets or more information, go to SanAntonioGunslingers.com. See you at the Freeman Coliseum this Sunday at 3 p.m. for the San Antonio Gunslingers Military Appreciation Game.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play Jimenez and Spence on San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm over here trying to enjoy this Victor Wembanyama basketball game as he plays in Paris, France, a playoff game, game 5 of their series.
It's okay. He's not on the court right now.
Okay, well, first of all, for some reason, your game is 10 seconds ahead of mine, and we're on the same Wi-Fi. You have your laptop out. I have my Surface Pro out, and for some reason, like what time is left on your clock right now?
I am down to 8:40.
I'm at 8:51. I've gotten worse. It's now 11 seconds difference. On your computer, he's already been drafted and has won Rookie of the Year. And I'm just nicely saying, can you pause your screen for 10 seconds so I can catch up?
I am Woj ruining the draft for you right now.
You completely are. You're like, dude, Rudy Gobert's in the audience. And they're like, Rudy Gobert is there? And you go, wait a second. And then he pops up on my screen. I'm like, you jerk. You jerk. But right now, according to my computer, Wemby's team is up 22-15, but not according to yours because they just made a layup.
Nope, they just made a 3.
They made a 3. Okay, so Wemby's team is up 25-15. Victor Wembanyama. This is early in the second quarter. Wemby has 6 points, 3 of 4 shooting. Also has 4 rebounds already. Not bad. 6 points, 4 rebounds.
So speaking of Victor Wembanyama, like we've been talking about, what would it take for the Spurs to move off of a Victor Wembanyama? Right?
Nothing.
I can't fathom a trade package, but ESPN tried to put one together. They put 3 trade packages together. Let's see if any at least makes you go,
Okay, let's do it.
By the way, Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone and text line 656 ESPN 656-3776 if you want to get it. I appreciate my guy at 210 texting in.
Yeah.
I have no clue who this is.
Didn't leave his name.
But appreciate you, my man. All right, so trade number 1. You get the MVP.
Okay, so we get Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that you were going to say Nikola Jokic, but no. Okay.
No,
we
you get
Embiid.
You get the one-time MVP this year's.
Okay.
The current iteration. The Sixers would get Victor Wembanyama, Toronto's 2024 first-round pick, so next year's first Toronto's that you're getting from the Jakob Poeltl trade, Doug McDermott, and Devontae Graham.
That would be a big no. And it's funny because, Embiid is the MVP. He's one of the 10 best players in the NBA. I don't think he's the best player in the NBA. I don't even think he should have won the MVP award this year.
I mean, the MVP means best player in the league.
Not always, because Michael Jordan only won it. He didn't win it every single season he was out there. He was the best player in the league every single season he was out there. So, no, I would not do that trade.
Okay, well, trade package number 2, if you will. The Oklahoma City Thunder get the number 1 overall pick, and that's it.
Okay.
The Spurs would get Chet Holmgren, 12 this year. The Rockets' top 4 protected first rounder next year. The Sixers' top 6 protected pick in 25. And the Clippers' 26 first rounder from their Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade.
That pick is even worse. That whole trade proposal is even worse. No, thank you.
Okay. And finally, this is the one that I was like, wait, what? The Orlando Magic get the number 1 overall pick.
Okay. So Paolo can play with him. Okay.
No. The Spurs get the Rookie of the Year, Paolo Banchero. Last year's number 1 overall pick, by the way. Jalen Suggs. And both their first rounders this year, number 6 and 11.
That is a better trade proposal. It's still a heck no. But at least they're trying with that one. No, the answer is no. I mean, I remember back in 1997 when the Spurs won the draft lottery, the Boston Celtics had the number 3 and 6 picks. Tony Battie and Ron Mercer is what turned out of that, right? Think about that. That was number 3 and 6. Tony Battie and Ron Mercer. They both had, okay enough careers. They made their money.
They were They were role players.
They were
they were 2 role players.
They went number 3 and 6 in Timmy's draft. No, thank you. No, Victor Wembanyama is going to be that guy. We even made a joke on R&R in the morning earlier today. Heard Rob and Rudy talking about it. They were saying, if Wemby, God forbid, was to get hurt and be out a year, like Chet Holmgren, you mentioned that name, you still draft Victor Wembanyama because he's a generational talent.
Absolutely. There's not a thing I can see short of like his leg falling off during the pre-draft process that would stop me from taking him number 1 overall.
Yeah, nothing's going to stop it.
The only thing was if he quit playing basketball and said, you know what? I've decided against it. I'm going to go open a winery in France.
And even still, Pop would want it. We're going to 3 o'clock here on Jimenez and Spence. When we come back, want him even more. When we come back, we're going to talk some pop culture. Kind of sneak in that pop culture. A little bit of nostalgia, if you will. Because remember raunchy movies back in the day?
What, like American Pie?
American Pie, Porky's, Meatballs, all of that. There was a new one coming out. And I wonder if it would intrigue you, interest you. Jennifer Lawrence is starring in it. Whatever happened to raunchy movies? Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
This is San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM, Floresville, and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The New England Patriots got in trouble again. They lost 2 days of team activities because the NFL says they violated off-season rules. Cheaters do what cheaters do. Rangers, Astros have the day off. Rangers, 3-game lead atop the AL West. And tonight it's Game 5 between the Heat and Celtics in Boston. You can hear the game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 7 after the Blitz.
Mike Jimenez.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Tim Spence.
Victory! Cowboys win!
It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I think you hurt Edwin's feelings. Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Third quarter action underway.
Oh, no, dude. It's still midway through the second. Wemby is still not out there. But if you miss any part of the show...
That's actually not true. Wemby is out there and baseline jumper airball.
I've turned off the game at this point. Got a show to do till 3 o'clock. If you miss any part of the show, go on to YouTube, find our stream, subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star. You can rewind. You can fast forward. You can also go to the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds at ESPNSA.com. By the way, I just saw Joe Reinagle in the building. Dude, I thought that he does shows on remotes every single day because he was at the Tin Cup Bar yesterday along with Jason Minix at the Golf Club of Texas, and they did their show out there. Tomorrow, they're going to be on the road again, same side of town. So if you missed them in West Bexar County, you can go to 211 and Petranco Road. That's where Texas Cheer Liquor #1 is at. It's on Petranco Road, just past 211, right? So if you see the HEB, keep going another quarter of a mile, right down 211.
Hey,
go
you know that side of
Castroville.
town. You tell me where to go.
Exactly. I remember taking Spence out there one time. I didn't take him, but he was going to meet me out there.
Did he get lost?
No, he kept calling me. He goes, dude, my GPS says to keep going. I'm like, yeah, you're going in the right direction. And he goes, you live out here? Yes, I drive out here every day from over there. 211 Petranco area.
Going out to that side of town is what I imagine Columbus trying to sail to the other side to find America was like.
That's what I think it was.
You're just waiting to fall off of the end of the earth at some point. Like, where does it end? San Antonio can't be this big.
It is. It is. And it's so funny because, San Antonio is like the 7th largest city when it comes to population, but landmass size is one of the largest in the country.
Yeah, I was about to say, because it's not dense.
Yeah, no,
we're not densely populated.
Yeah, I have family from LA that come into town and we drive around and they're like, well, what's that right there? It's just land.
That's San Antonio.
That's land. Well, what are they going to do with it? It's been there for my entire life. I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's just land. Because some places, you have to like build upwards, and you
New
can
York.
Well, I think New York can fit inside the medical center, like Manhattan can fit inside the medical center, if I'm not mistaken. If that's the same size,
Maybe. I don't know.
it's very, very possible. Manhattan, not very big, but it's a lot of people out there. So I want to talk about some movies with you because I like the midday show because we talk a lot about sports, but back in the day, we used to talk a lot more about pop culture and nostalgia. And I was getting a little bit nostalgic because my wife and I were watching TV and we came across a trailer for a movie that's coming out called No Hard Feelings. And I want to watch this movie because Jennifer Lawrence is in it. I love me some Jennifer Lawrence for several reasons.
Absolutely.
First of all, talented actress. Secondly, she's a dime. She is a 10. I love
She's
her.
Katniss Everdeen.
I love her personality. Katniss Everdeen in all the Hunger Game movies, right? But the trailer that we have here is very raunchy, I guess you can say. And I cannot believe that a movie like this exists in 2023.
I'm an Uber driver and I don't have a car.
Come on up.
His parents said if I quote date their son, they'd give me a Buick Regal.
You won't even rent your house out, but now you're going to rent out your badge.
You have a Roadrunner tattoo covering your entire back. I don't think you should tell anybody what to do with their body.
Nope.
I'm going to teach you how to have fun.
Am I allowed to be here?
You can't be scared of everything your whole life. You need to learn how to party. Have you seen Percy?
Percy? Percy?
Percy? Doesn't anyone anymore?
I like your house a lot.
Okay.
It's cozy.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Jennifer Lawrence. What am I doing?
I took a lot of time editing this.
I didn't know it was all the way through. I didn't know if it was the whole thing.
No, it's not the whole thing, but
okay. I was getting hot and bothered.
I cut it down from about 2 minutes to about 40 seconds.
Okay. Either way, it is a movie that is considered to be raunchy because that's what it sounds like. But if you see what's going on and all the visual cues that are going on, it's a type of movie that is rare these days. Might come out every 2 or 3 years now, but I remember growing up, there were the Police Academy movies, and people would talk about Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds and all of those movies, all the way up until when I was in college and American Pie came out, and it was like American Pie 2 and American Wedding and all of that.
And then 3 years ago, he started to watch movies for the first time ever.
Yes. Pineapple Express, this The End and all of that stuff. But I like this type of comedy. It is gross out, it is raunchy. For some reason I like it, and the fact that it's Jennifer Lawrence saying it, because this is a talented actress. I mean, this is Jennifer Lawrence from Silver Linings Playbook, right? Great actress going out there and doing a raunchy comedy, no different than when Jennifer Aniston was doing one with Jason Sudeikis and all of that, or Horrible Bosses and things like that. Do you like raunchy comedies, Pledge?
Oh, I love raunch coms. They're fantastic. The problem is you can't so much make them anymore right now.
Yeah, things are getting too politically correct. I'll admit that. Blockers was a movie that came out with John Cena, and that was a great movie about 5 or 6 years ago, which pisses me off because I cannot find it on streaming. Like I can't find it anywhere. And it was a movie that when I had DirecTV, I had purchased on pay-per-view, and I would always go back to my library and watch it, but I cut the cord, if you will, and I don't have it anymore. But my wife and I used to watch that movie all the time because it was so stinking funny, and it was a raunchy comedy involving teenage girls. It was like a female version of American Pie. I like those types of movies. I remember growing up watching Revenge of the Nerds, and that's a movie that's difficult to watch because I have a daughter who's college age, and watching these movies with her, it's different, man. We live in a different time. They don't respect those movies because they don't like those movies.
It's not about us anymore. Don't you realize that?
It is.
Our generation has come and gone. Whether it's Gen X or millennial or whichever one I'm on the cusp of.
I think well, you and I are both Zennials, if I'm not
What is
mistaken.
that? Why
Yeah.
are all these different
Ah,
subsets?
you've never heard about that. Okay. So you have like the baby boomers, and then you've got Gen X.
Yeah.
And then you've got the millennials, right?
And then Gen Z.
Gen Z. Okay,
And
so
I guess what's happening right now after Gen Z? There's something new.
grandkids is what they're called. Now, a Zennial is somebody who was born between the years of 1976 and 1982 and is considered to be its own sub generation, right? Where it basically says you're 50% one and 50% the other. You're not Gen X, you're not a millennial, you're somewhere in the middle. And
So this is where it all started.
It basically says that we are the last ones to have a childhood without computers, without cell phones, but we also experienced them when they first came out. Pledge, I remember, man, I was a freshman at Holmes High School. I remember when they rolled out the two computers on the opposite ends of the library, right where the librarian would sit, and they had the internet. And if you wanted to go get on the internet, you needed to sign up.
Yeah, you had to
days
go
in
into a
advance.
computer lab.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna dude, I'm gonna go check out the internet like Friday from 3 to 3:30. And then you'd sign up and you'd go over there, and I'd be calling up Rick Riley's columns on sportsillustrated.com, right? And
Even better, I remember my dad had one of those like kind of cell phones that you carried around in like a briefcase.
oh yeah,
The big block.
the brick.
Yeah. He had one that he had in his vet growing up, and I was like, it's cool.
Yeah.
You can call anybody, anywhere, anytime. That's when I remember phone numbers.
That's the thing, man. I had a plum pager back in the day.
I had a clear red one. Left it in my pocket and sent it through the washer, and then I tried to dry it.
Having these conversations with my daughter is funny because it's like, I didn't know who was on the other end. If it said 911, you had to call, right? Pull over, put a quarter in the phone, and do all that. But a Zennial is basically somebody who is 76 to 82.
80085.
Yes. Going back to raunchy comedies. I saw a TikTok that said that the other day. It was this guy who pulled over off the side of the road. This is a freeway, going by. He pulled over the side of the road. He goes, "Don't worry, I didn't break down. I just had to show you my odometer." It was 80,000. 80,000, 85.
Or no, 8,008.
8,085 miles, right? Yeah.
80,085.
There you go.
There it is. Sorry. Hunter Duplessis, by the way, you were wondering?
Yeah.
He went 5 of 6 this year with a long of 42 for the Houston Roughnecks.
Very nice. I like that guy, dude. He's a solid guy. Solid guy. By the way, I'm looking at screencrush.com, and it ranked going back to the raunchy comedies. Looking forward to the Jennifer Lawrence one. She's beautiful. She was on my top 5 all-time crush list about 5 or 6 years ago. Not so much anymore.
She's not on your list anymore?
She's the honorable mention. But screencrush.com ranks the 10 greatest raunchy comedies of all time. Do you want to hear these 1 through 10, or do you want to go 10 through 1?
Let's go 10 through 1.
All right, at number 10, Kingpin, 1996 movie, Randy Quaid, Woody Harrelson. That was a funny movie. The girl in that movie,
Bill Murray.
Oh, Bill Murray was great. I used to love his bowling ball with the rose in it.
Mm-hmm.
That girl was smoking. Number 9, Friday. I don't know if I call that a raunchy movie. I just thought that was a funny movie.
No, I get it.
Number 8, a movie from 1994, black and white, low budget movie, Clerks.
Oh God, Clerks is fantastic.
I love Clerks so much, dude. That just shows that you and I are the same age. By the way,
Kevin Smith is a genius.
At number 7, Revenge of the Nerds. Again,
great one.
Great movie, except for the end. Got a little bit crazy. Number 5, the original Police Academy from 1984. Number 5 of the greatest raunchy comedies of all time, according to ScreenCrush.com. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where we were introduced to Sean Penn. Number 4, Porky's, which I saw for the first time last year. And Spence gave me a nickname based on it.
I remember that.
Number 3, Caddyshack. came out in 1980. Number 2, National Lampoon's Animal House. And number 1, from 1974, Blazing Saddles.
I'm upset there aren't a few movies on that list, but
Yeah, dude, Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles is amazing.
Yes. Wemby's team is kicking butt right now, up 39-24.
How much time?
On Pledger's computer, it's already halftime, but
No, I've still got 30 seconds left.
Oh, I caught up. I had to reboot my computer and turn it back on. I'm at 24 seconds. Where you at?
I'm at 24.
Nice. So right now it's coming down to halftime over there. It's the best of 5 series. Victor Wembanyama's team up 39-24. It's about to be halftime. Wemby having a pretty decent game so far. When we come back, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to hear from head coach Mike McCarthy as the OTA'S are underway there in Big D. What's up with Zeke? Is he ever coming back? We're going to hear from head coach Mike McCarthy. Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow on R&R in the morning, I get to argue with RJ Ochoa blogging the boys at 7:30.
It's a Friday edition, a weekday edition. What are you going to be grilling? We're talking hoops, we're talking football, we're talking holiday. The party starts at 6.
R&R in the morning, tomorrow at 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Huebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. And if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com. Thursday, May 25th is Customer Appreciation Day at Twin Peaks, and they're celebrating with an epic deal on their famous wings. Just buy 6 and get 6 more for free. Valid in-store at Twin Peaks on bone-in, breaded, or naked-style wings with the purchase of a Peak Signature 22-ounce draft soda or tea.
I was in a terrible accident with a commercial vehicle. I had to have surgery on my back. My life was turned upside down and I was completely screwed. Then I called the Fours, the Davis law firm. Jeff personally handled my case. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $397,988. It's really true. Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave. Spicy dill, Korean kimchi, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to a whole new level with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Get yours at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
At Diamonds Direct, we know your first impression of us is probably bridal jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, and yes, you're right, there's a reason we're the nation's premier bridal jewelry destination. But you're missing out if you don't also think about Diamonds Direct for jewelry gifts for other special moments, like birthdays, graduations, sweet 16s, anniversaries. Our collection of fashion jewelry is second to none. Cases filled with rings, bands, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones, beautiful jewelry starting at around $300. Jewelry boxes across America are being filled with our diamond classics, like stud and hoop earrings and stunning tennis bracelets. Everyday jewelry that you can wear with anything. And know this, the same quality and value you appreciate in our bridal collections, you'll find as well in our fashion jewelry. No compromises. So as you celebrate all the amazing moments of your life, remember Diamonds Direct. Let us help you celebrate with a gift of lasting value. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Details, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, it's Jason Minix, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Mike Jimenez, James Pledger with you till 3 o'clock. Tim Spence has the day off. Before we talk Cowboys, little Wemby update. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block in the first half for Wemby in just 16 minutes. Not bad. Shooting 6 of 10
What's his
from the
effective
field.
field goal percentage?
60 because he has shot no threes. That is efficient right there. And that is a guy that splits hairs. That is James Pledger. He's on Twitter at I am Pledger. I am at Mike ESPNSA.
I just keep you honest. That's all I'm doing. I'm just keeping you honest.
Just let me spin like a top, dude. Just sometimes I spin on forever. Sometimes I crash into the wall. Sometimes I hit other things. Just let me spin like a top.
And the top's flip-flopped.
It rhymes. So we've been
finally, I've been asking, where are the Cowboys? OTAs are underway. They're at the Star. How come we haven't heard from them?
Yeah, it's funny because you would think that the Cowboys, of all the teams, you would think America's team, the one that has Jerry Jones as the owner and GM, the one that loves to be in the spotlight. They decided to hold their media day on Thursday, which is like what, day 5 or 6 of the OTA? They got going on Friday.
Yeah.
See, at Friday, they had a day off. So Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here they are on Thursday.
Well, they're not every day.
Doing their thing.
They're 2 days in a row at most.
But right now, they're finally talking to the media.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. And a lot of what they're saying out there is about, hey, it's all about the language. It's all about getting Dak Prescott up to speed. Because keep in mind, there's no more Kellen Moore. So we have a new play caller and head coach Mike McCarthy. So it's interesting what's going on, the development that we have going on. And CeeDee Lamb, obviously wide receiver 1. Then you've got Brandon Cooks coming on in, potentially wide receiver number 2. But let's hear from Mike McCarthy when he's talking about Michael Gallup. Because Michael Gallup, if they can get anything from him this year, would be a positive.
I mean, Michael's very important. I think the biggest thing is Michael, and and I know he wants it too. Is he just wants to have a healthy season? He's been through these injuries here, and he looks good. So I mean, this is really the first time I think in my time here he's had a full off-season program. So, but yeah, he's very important.
That's a very interesting point. Head coach Mike McCarthy talking there, because he's saying he's never had a full offseason, either because of injury or because of COVID or whatever the case may be. Michael Gallup can now assimilate himself into the offense more and faster than he has in years past.
I mean, sure.
Whatever they can get from him is a positive.
Yeah,
because the guy's not a scrub. I mean, this is a guy that's coming off of injury after injury. He's not a scrub.
He's not a scrub, but he needs to continue on the path that we saw him on. He was a receiver that took a big jump in year 3, managed to parlay that into a pretty good season right before getting hurt in the final weeks of the season. They paid him anyway based on the trajectory of his career at that point.
Right.
And this year, there's no sugarcoating it, whether it was injury, not being ready, coming back too soon, not trusting it mentally. The contract signing looks awful given the performance of that last year.
If he can get back to being 90% of who he was, 80-90% of who he was prior to the injury, that would be a big thing. Because the Cowboys need to have a wide receiver 3 out there. They need it. Because I'm not worried about CeeDee Lamb. He's a top 10 wide receiver out there. I'm not worried about Brandon Cooks, because Brandon Cooks, when he has a good quarterback out there, can actually perform and get you 800 to 1,100 yards receiving. But who's going to be that wide receiver 3? That's the big question. Because last year's wide receiver 3 moved on to Houston. Noah Brown. So this year,
it has to be Gallup.
It has to be Gallup, because you can't trust that Jalen Tolbert's going to be that guy, because Tolbert was an afterthought. That was a 3rd-round draft pick that they wasted last year. And Jalen Tolbert is now in camp right now trying to prove himself. He might not even make it through this camp.
I mean, he's a 3rd-round pick. I expect him to be on this roster in some way, shape, or form.
Well, you would have
whether he's active on game day is a different story.
I mean, you would expect him to play. He only played a handful of games last year.
He didn't even play in a handful of games last year. believe he made
like 2.
I believe he made 1 game, 1 appearance. He was an afterthought and should have been. He was not good. But you would hope that he would take that step that lends to maybe it clicking in his 2nd year, and he was just kind of overwhelmed coming from small South Alabama.
I'm fascinated with these OTAs as to what's going to happen with the tight ends. Cowboys drafted a tight end in the 2nd round out of Michigan. You already had Jake Ferguson out there, Peyton Hendershot as well.
Mhm.
Ferguson, from what I've been reading, has been looking pretty decent out there. If Ferguson can compete for that job, one of 2 things happens. Either A, good for him, or B, wow, that might have been a waste of a 2nd round draft pick if Ferguson really is that guy.
I think Ferguson is. I've thought that.
I like
Which is
Ferguson.
why I didn't get the Shoemaker pick in the 2nd round. It felt like a huge reach, but obviously the Cowboys feel a certain way about either the tight end position in general, which, judging by the reports of Dalton Kincaid and everything in the 1st round and the Bills jumping them to get him and then taking Shoemaker in the 2nd, either they felt a certain way about Shoemaker or they felt a certain way about their own tight end room. Because them drafting the position as early as they did, especially with Shoemaker, who felt like a bit of a reach as
Dude,
high as he
it
went.
felt like a reach big time.
But at the same time, maybe they see something in him that the rest of us don't. Maybe they have a certain way of utilizing him, or maybe that's just how they feel about the tight end position as it stands, and they needed to add to that room.
We're less than a week away from the June 1 cuts. If there's an area aside from kicker that the Cowboys might want to address, it's running back.
Mhm.
There are reports out there that Dalvin Cook might be on the chopping block for Minnesota, who's trying to save some cap space. Dalvin Cook is a very, very solid running back, Pro Bowler, guy that can get you between 1,000 to 1,400 yards rushing. But there's another name that's out there, another former Pro Bowler, Ezekiel Elliott.
I remember him.
He's still out there. And you hear the love from Dak Prescott, from Jerry Jones, from head coach Mike McCarthy. There's still a respect factor there.
There is a respect factor, but I think the greatest thing that came out of today's mini camps is Mike McCarthy telling us that Tony Pollard's been practicing.
Mhm.
And because he's been practicing, we've had such questions about all the other running backs that are in that room, whether it be Malik Davis or Rico Dowdle or Ronald Jones, who I have yet to find anybody that believes he's going to make the roster after training camp.
Right.
So the question is, how healthy is Tony Pollard? Apparently, he's already practicing, recovering from that fractured and high ankle sprain he suffered in the divisional round of the playoffs 4 months ago. So that is fantastic news to hear when talking about, is he going to be hindered by this injury as he gets closer to the regular? If he's already back out on the field, that's a good thing in terms of just recovery where he's at.
No, yeah.
So he should be a full go by training camp, that tells me. And
who's going to be the counterpart is the next question.
Who's going to be the counterpart is the big question, because a lot of people are still connecting Dalvin Cook or even bringing Zeke back. And apparently Mike McCarthy doesn't quite believe in so much replacing Zeke.
This isn't really about replacing Zeke. It's really about opportunities for the young guys. Tony's opportunity to be the lead back. And so we're just, getting all those guys ready. Deuce is the new guy, and it's been cool to see him implemented into the things that we've been doing here the last week. So, but it's definitely, the group will look different, and it's because of, his presence is not there.
Head coach Mike McCarthy, you know what we're going to see? I'm going to predict what we're going to see.
Zeke back.
That, on top of that, we're going to see a preseason game where Malik Davis goes for 9 rushes for 58 yards and a touchdown. And another game where he goes 7 touches for 45 yards and a touchdown, and he'll be practice squad. I don't get it. I like Malik Davis, dude. I really do.
If he plays that well, he's not going to be practice squad. If he plays that well in the preseason, he's not going to be a practice squad. My question or my concern with him is if in the preseason because Tony Pollard's obviously not going to play in the preseason.
Right.
There's no reason for it. So he's going to get some run with the first team. The first team probably is closer to the second team, but that's a whole nother conversation when it comes to preseason football. My concern would be if we see like the first performance, you said 958 touchdown, blah, blah, blah. And then we see like 7 for 14.
No, I get that. But what I like seeing with Malik Davis, this is a guy that is somebody that can catch the ball. I'm looking at the stats that he had against the Titans last year, where he was 10 for 39 on the ground, but had 2 receptions for 23 yards. It's somebody that can do a little bit of everything. He averaged for the season north of 4 yards per carry, which is more than what Zeke did.
I don't
But
think
if you
he catches the ball naturally, though.
No, he doesn't. I'm not going to say that he is, flawless at it. It might be where he has to work at that. I get that, but I just like seeing him run through the line. There have been a handful of plays last season where you look at him and go, dude, that guy has something there, but it needs to be developed. And you need to have repetition. You need to have touches. You need to have experience going through the tackles or bouncing outside. And I don't think they've given him that run yet to know exactly what they have with him.
Well, here's the main question. And this is a question that I pose and will watch as closely as I can with my own eyes. But the Cowboys tell you everything you need to know about how they feel about their players. Jalen Tolbert not sniffing the field last year in any meaningful snaps tells you exactly what they think about Jalen Tolbert last season. Them going out to make sure that they get a Brandon Cooks this offseason tells you exactly what they think about Jalen Tolbert. Them going and making that move on Shoemaker in the second round kind of tells you a little bit about what they think of their tight end room. There's something outside of just his production as a running back that is the issue if they find a reason to supplant Malik Davis on this roster. It goes beyond just his ability to hit the hole. It's his ability to read a blitz, pick up. It is his ability to run a route correctly outside of it. Being a running back is so much more than running through the line and getting positive yards.
No, agreed. I mean, if you look at Zeke, he played center for a game. At least for one play. But Malik Davis, looking at his game log from last year, had one run of 23 yards, another run of 23 yards, another run of 17. He can break free from time to time. Give me some Malik Davis. I want to see it this year if they don't get a Dalvin Cook. Obviously, if they get a Dalvin Cook, you ride with Dalvin Cook.
Well, I got another question for you.
What's that?
If you're laying money against something that has happened 0 times out of 150.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Where's your money going?
As of right now, I'll tell you on the other side, but as of right now, I have no confidence in either one of those bets. I'll take whichever one you don't want. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight as the Celtics try and keep their playoff hopes alive as they trail the Heat 3-1. But that series is back in Boston. Tip-offs at 7:30. It's a game you can catch here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star starting at 7 after the Blitz. While in college hoops, 5-star guard Caleb Love, one of the top prospects in the transfer portal, is considering the Texas Longhorns along with Gonzaga and Arizona, according to 24/7 Sports.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal. Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices at participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For over 17 years, the award-winning legal team at George Salinas Injury Lawyers has been representing personal injury victims all across Texas. Have you been injured in an accident? George Salinas is ready to represent you with free consultations, 24/7 availability, and no attorney fees unless we win. George Salinas Injury Lawyers will help you get the results you need so you can focus on recovery. If you've been injured, one call could change your entire case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers, 210-225-0909, or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. And now try Babbel for free by texting radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's showtime. It's Jimenez and Spence on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jimenez and Spence at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Today it's Jimenez and Pledger because James Pledger is co-hosting today. Tim Spence has the day off, although I did see him in the hallway a little while ago. Complained about me not paying off the bet, but I tried today.
You tried.
I called him several times today.
The problem is he forgot his phone. He pulled a Michael Jimenez or a Rob Thompson.
Dude, I have never forgotten my phone. I've lost my phone. I've pulled a Rob Thompson and lost my phone. I've never forgotten my phone because as I'm driving off, the first thing I do is put on Spotify or I put on something, ESPNSA.com, our YouTube stream. I put on something as I'm getting on the road. So for him to say that he did not have his phone, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. That's not something a Zennial would do.
Well, I mean, I don't, but I can see that.
You do agree with Zennials, right? It's not we're not Gen X, but we identify with them. We're not millennial, but we identify with them. We're in the middle. It's like I mean, the best of both worlds. We straddle the line.
Does everybody that doesn't get exactly what they want try and find everything that they want it to be all at once?
Okay, first of all,
you're either born between a certain date and you're either this or you're that. Like, well, why do we have to make our own subset?
Well, the problem is because when you are born at the actual line, you can't identify with either.
You're making the line like a 5-year gap.
I didn't create the term Zennial. We're talking about people who have higher degrees than I do.
So we were the first person to not be happy with what we were the first ones to complain about what we were assigned.
We were the last ones to go outside and be outside all day long and not have a pad in front of our face. We were the first ones introduced to the internet while in high school and college.
Sure.
That's basically it. I remember when I was going to college and I was looking for something, I had to use the card catalog.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's computerized.
Sure.
And it's just like, I remember the card catalog, but I'm also not afraid of technology.
I remember I had to use a map if I wanted to go somewhere.
Dude,
I also remember when I had to print the directions on MapQuest if I wanted to go
hold
somewhere.
up to your face. MapQuest, baby. Google Maps or MapQuest.
I had
one
to
or the
use
other.
Road Map, and then I graduated to MapQuest
Dude.
because that was a thing.
Pulling over to the side of the road to pull out a map sucks so bad, man. So bad.
And they think phones are dangerous.
You know what's dangerous right now? The Boston Celtics.
Uh-oh.
Because, again,
0-150.
I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment. I'm not.
You don't have to be. I'm going to be.
It's one of those things where if it ends tomorrow, I'm just glad that, or ends tonight, rather, I'm just glad that I'm not here tomorrow. Rob Thompson is filling in for me. So
everybody will forget by Tuesday.
It'll be Rob Thompson and Tim Spence, or just Rob Thompson. But, you know, so the thing about it is this, is that if you told me Jimmy Butler goes off for 52 points, they win tonight, I'd be like, man, that's playoff Jimmy.
Yeah.
I would get that. But if you also told me that it's going to be 3-2, go back to Miami, and oh, by the way, Boston is now favored to win the series, I would also believe you.
Because Boston's the better team. There's a reason everybody was picking Boston and nobody gave Miami any credit early on. Is because they're decidedly the better team on paper, on the court, in terms of skill level. The only thing where you could go, Miami's got the advantage there. Coaching.
Yes.
That's it. That's the one positive tick you can give to them. Otherwise, they've got more all pros, NBA, all NBA teamers. They've got more everything, including bench depth and just players that you would rather have on your team.
Man, I'm looking up some odds right now. Now, okay, couple of things, by the way. We know that the Miami Heat have not had Tyler Herro all postseason long, right? He got hurt early on in the first round of the playoffs. Now, he has been given the go-ahead to resume basketball activities, but he's not going to be back for this series, but he might be back in time for the NBA Finals should the Miami Heat advance to the finals.
A week from today.
The thing about it is this, is that the Boston Celtics are the better team already. If fully healthy, they're the better team. But we see this team in the Miami Heat without Tyler Herro, and we see the fact that Gabe Vincent, one of their guards, who's a very good guard, knocked down 6 3-pointers the other day, is out today because he rolled his ankle late in the game in game 4. So now Jimmy Butler is going to go out there with missing 2 starters or 2 big pieces there who can both knock down threes. Jimmy Butler now has a team that is depleted. And now I'm looking over at the Denver Nuggets thinking to myself, I bet you they're hoping and praying that Miami pulls this series out, because then you'd have a depleted Miami team and you would see Denver go in and just steamroll that series.
It's already been a depleted Miami team. It's just more depleted now. It hasn't changed. This is a team that's been without some of its best players for the majority of this series. And it has been Jimmy and Bam kind of carrying them and just playing intense level defense throughout the playoffs. But if Jason Tatum can be that dude, and we've seen him be that dude, Boston's hard to beat because they are so deep.
It's going to be a scary out. Just ask the Sixers. They lost games 6 and 7, right? They lost a home game.
Oh, they lost game 6 in Philly with the lead late, holding Jason Tatum scoreless through 3 quarters. He was
Tatum
over,
went
and
off.
then Tatum went off.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's the record again for teams that are 0-3 in the NBA playoffs?
Is 0-150.
What if I told you that right now Bovada has odds on the Boston Celtics winning this series at just 2-1.
Not be shocked at all, because I was watching whatever Say This or First Things First or whatever that show with Max Kellerman is.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a Vegas expert, somebody in Vegas, and the question was posed, is it good value right now to get Boston to win this series? And her answer was no.
It was 14-1 odds before game 4. It's now plus 225, just barely over 2-1 odds. Right now,
the line has shifted so significantly from just one game. And a game that Miami led for the first half, the entire first half. Boston didn't turn it on until the third quarter.
And the line has increased. It is now an 8.5-point spread. Boston Celtics favored tonight to send it back to Miami.
Wow.
Again, Miami.
Dave Vincent was only a half point?
Yeah, I'm still thinking it's going to be 10 by the time tip-off happens, which is at 7:30, but our coverage begins on San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 o'clock immediately after the Blitz. And speaking of the Blitz, they're on the road tomorrow. They're going to be over at Petranco Roads on Texas Cheerlicker #1 on Petranco Road at 211. Again, just keep going down Petranco outside of 1604. Okay, so if you're on 1604 and Petranco, you go outside the loop about 5 miles.
Drive to where the earth ends in San Antonio.
No, because Texas Cheerlicker #1 and 2 are my stops, man. I go there. I go hang out with AD. He's a great guy. Owns a lot of these establishments. Again, it's on Petranco, just past 211. Just keep going until you see the H-E-B and go past it, right? And it's on the other side of the street, left-hand side. There will be drink specials and free samples as always. I will not be at that one because I'm going to go on the road. I won't be here tomorrow. Rob Thompson will be here instead. My guy, Rob Thompson. Going to give you a Wemby update on the other side. Victor Wembanyama is playing right now in France. How is he doing? How's his team doing? Give you the update on the other side. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Today at 3.
Coming up at 3 on the Blitz, can the Boston Celtics make a comeback? Well, they've got another opportunity tonight. We'll get you ready for that. Plus, we're going to visit with John McClain, the general, all about Houston Texans football. We might even talk some Astros as well. It's all on the Blitz, and it all begins at 3 o'clock.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Today at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health San Antonio has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Hey guys, June is Men's Health Month, and Revive Men's Health encourages you to prioritize your health. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. Call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The largest gun show in Central Texas is coming back to the city of San Marcos Convention Center, exit 201 off I-35 this weekend. Guns, knives, collectibles, and more. Texas gun shows this weekend at the city of San Marcos Convention Center, exit 201 off I-35.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away.
Jason Minix and Joe Reinagel are on deck, coming on at 3 o'clock.
I just witnessed a flip-flop in
mid-flip.
Mid-flip.
So Joe Reinagel was in here just saying, I cannot believe Wemby's taken out of the game. And I'm like, well, he's playing out there. You know, Wemby's team, Victor Wembanyama, Spurs will draft him officially 4 weeks from today. NBA draft is June 22nd. But his French team is in a best-of-3 playoff game. These are the quarterfinals. And I went up, Reinagel came in, and I was like, dude, Wemby's doing good today. And he's like, they're not even playing him right now. I'm like, well, because they're up 15. It's a closeout game. They will play him in the fourth quarter. By the way, the
19-8, 3-1. That's a stat line.
19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. He is shooting 8 for 13 from the field. My man has not attempted 1 3-pointer today.
And they're up like 15. I'm with Joe. I don't think he plays in the fourth quarter, unless it gets close.
It's a closeout game. It's the best-of-3 series. So, again, I think they'll probably trot him out there for the first 2 or 3 minutes. And if it's a 15, 16, 17-point game, just pull him out.
But you're sitting here like he's got to play. You got to play him. You're the one that literally 2 days ago said he shouldn't even be playing. They should shut him down.
I am saying that from the perspective of the fans of this French team, not as a Spurs fan. As a Spurs fan, I believe what Reinagel said as he walked out of the room. Reinagel saying, I hope Wemby's team loses so that they don't advance to the semifinals.
No, this is what happened. They're televising his games, and you finally get to watch him. And you're like, I need more of this because this is all I have until we actually draft him and then the season starts.
Inject this into my veins.
So
right
now that you can actually see him play, you're all about him playing.
I can see him play live. I watched games on replay on YouTube, but to watch him play live is pretty interesting. I'm not even watching him live. I'm watching him on a 7-second delay because Pledger's computer is faster than mine for some reason. I caught up. And then all of a sudden,
by the way, start of the fourth, Wemby's not out there.
Well, this is normally the time he rests. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't know his rest pattern. All I know is the other team is now within 11 points, so they may have to bring out Victor Wembanyama all over again.
All I know is that Wemby's team is kicking their butt.
Yes, they are. And going from kicking butt to kicking field goals, who the heck's going to do it for the Cowboys?
That is a great question because they missed out on at least one name on the free agent list because what would you say, 3 kickers that you would see in free agency that you would bring in and feel somewhat confident as an upgrade over Brett Maher?
Yeah, Brandon McManus potentially being one of them. He was with the Denver Broncos for many, many years. He got released, and Cowboy fans got super excited about it. I know bloggingtheboys.com was all about it, saying, go after that guy. And
somebody did.
And then womp womp, Jacksonville went and got him. Jacksonville didn't wait.
They didn't.
Jacksonville said, you know what?
We've got an issue. We're going to solve
We're going to address this thing. Kicking field goals. Most games are decided by 7 points or less. Maybe we need a field goal kicker around here. Cowboys are there going, yeah, we got a wide receiver too. We got Tony Pollard on a franchise tag. We got Mozzie Smith. But if somebody got to kick a field goal,
Tristan Vizcaino.
That's our guy, baby. That's our guy.
It's not their guy, though.
I know.
It can't be their guy.
And everyone's saying Robbie Gould. And that's, again, you go to Vegas. Can I place a bet on this? I'll take me some Robbie Gould. right?
I will take me some Robbie Gould in real life.
Yes, you got to get the ball to the 25-yard line before he's a viable kicker. I mean, that guy's 41, man.
Yes. And kickers kick until they're 50.
He's past his prime, dude.
Yes.
He's past his prime.
He's past his prime, but he's still the best that's out there.
He was 63% from 40 to 49 last year, and we're going to expect that Robbie Gould's the solution for the Cowboys.
Then give me a better option.
I mean, what year is this? 2015?
He was 50 of 51 on extra points, which is where the Cowboys struggle.
Everybody's 50 of 51 from extra points.
No,
dude.
they are not.
I bet you if we looked at the accuracy from extra points, it's probably 96, 97, 98%.
It is not. It was back when they kicked it from the 2-yard line. They have since moved it back if you've been sleeping under a rock, and it's become not something that you can just go to the bathroom during anymore.
Why is this guy dressed like a Native American in France right now at Wemby's game? And why does the camera guy, the director of this game, keep pointing at him?
It's super
creepy.
Like, can you get away with that in the States anymore?
You can't. I mean,
didn't
this
think
is
so.
like the movie Major League, man. Chief Wahoo out there watching the watching Wemby's team. Goodness.
With all the red, he's got to be a supporter for the Charlotte team, the non-Wemby team.
Wemby is not on the court yet. Not on the court yet. His team is now up 14 points with 7 minutes to go. Wemby has had 19 points today, but Jason and Joe are up next. Rob Thompson filling in for me tomorrow. I have a long drive to Virginia Beach tomorrow. Jimenez and Spence, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's a Jimenez and Spence.